It must finally usher in the total emancipation and the political unification of our continent. Africa must...
We are Assemblyman. We are Chief Executive Officer of a municipal Liti. And as we are the Chief Director, now we are doing. We are Member of Parliament. Oh, yeah, dying. And we are higher efficacy, higher crowd. 100.5 FM. Bedini kachira kwesi apia prekunya meti ase from your Tafrija. Ewe mitira kunya kase so dia Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Commander Boham. Ante na komo honmo aye babedi. En komo ni doso. Komo ni ebebre. Aye buburuja. Onim say we Samuel Honto. A broadcast journalist will join me here. Kojoya boy, a former Yawas was Wogon. Constituency Youth Organizer at my NPP. My brother Kojo will be here. Haruna Mohammed, Deputy Director of Communications. Pilgrims Affairs Office. Hajj. Amuina Batrazenda. Yaba Tufu Mwana. And come up and Yababedi. Fango Bwana back Bakosro. Yaba Pajamwana. And I any day for prices to serve to rise by up to 17%. What they do mean for the ordinary Ghanaian? We're going to sit down, discuss, dissect, and see how best we can find solutions to our problems and challenges. Gold Board rejects claims. Over 300,000 Ghana citizens inflated laptops of procurement. And Ukraine. For Riata, I cannot. Former Finance Minister Kenneth Riata seeks a U.S. residency as Ghana pursues extradition. What are the legal implications? We're going to talk. We're Nana Otudako. Nana Ofiduemo. I tell you, Kabomo, Nayasumo. On the Citizen Show. Accra 100.5 FM. You better come on now, and come on, huh? Sumanche, ten, Ajwe. So, because I want Donya Kupon, I want Dom, my Ghana, wait here for Assassin, what is war? Wamaya Ufrimu, Wamaya Utrimu. Now, say, media be Donya Kupon. Namindo, my Ghana. Oh my gosh. I tell you, Frobi, Obin Kanchrobi. On Kanchrobi says Salamuma. At this time, so you know, I won't go your trust. Maybe the season show ya the bravo. And today I begin to it. What my name, Cossa, what my name, say, what my name, Fassa. What are the do's and the don'ts? Are we progressing or are we retrogressing? Ya kwa man na ya buy chi. Na wo my Ghana kura say. Anti Ghana be ya ni. Ya kwa ni say, ya fa ni say, ya dey. Na ya paja wo my Ghana jira ni na so. Ewe we ni sama hodo na betra say. E be din komo. Mama Lodi waye biem. Awo Bono East. Enyima Udu ayima ono mo a community clinic ono wa siesia ya ne kama ha adi mfidie ane ho akade bia kwa akogom. Oh Mama Lodina wo batan ampa onyame nhira o ma nkwatenten nhira musanu nyuma nhira wasifo nyina dade da uta adwira afoforo ho boa afoforo ani bi eni nyanka ni wisia uye ono madom ye omo adoye anti Mama Lodina, God bless you wherever you are. Ghana says a big thank you. The people of Anyima says a thank you. God bless you, Mama Lodina. Ate we come on Hanma ya babe die menika catch say ha efficacy me ha ya cry 100.5. Of course, yeah the season show so na enewie otie and the mabobon come ya babe die ni nyina so achrew anti ubehu na wehu baby abefa. Ne so we are say odwane live on Facebook Accra 100.5. Accra 100.5. Accra 100.5 on Facebook Accra 100.5. O like o join ye o like na wa share for comment ne bra na yen koyenim ne be kan bibia so ama o ene wie ati wie nya me kai won say emfa won san ka fidie no mane na he ya. So far so good, abraço. All right, yen shebribi Bribi koso ewo o my Ghana ha. Na nia ekoso no eya samoa. Say yan hwe ampani pomasibra, a time will come. Ebehaw, ebehame, ebeha ye nyina. Say ye kase bibi a legal tender. Na eyesika. Ene ayura hu say wo di 20 pesos. Ana 10 pesos odi abuabu anu kra ma ne noso na ko saudi kwa kota de be ka kira say yenye. I want to ask maybe say be say we say enya Ghana sika na. Look, when you travel even in Britain oko US of A oko nkra hodo kro bia ni wiase o mai bia ni wiase a wo mo so wo use pesos amount 40 cents 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cents, and as if all concra would was wa. Yadi to adia mayaje. Ante ekobani sign na me mabwebu amisika no. Ebia 20 pesos. Muta 20 pesos makoma kudua and why saying. And why saying. Ah, somebody kwa kwa de no beka chira me say one ye. No. I think say brasso say Ghana for your man brebi adwuma na mbra ne kasa. Na ka mitue, na ka me se me ko mafi efo Jemesi Julius, na me ko Julius wonom, na me se anti adwoa me to ade o. Anti adwoa e bia we hu me di coins e to, na anti adwoa be ka say dabi menje, dabi. Anoti ye behwe. Se pedifo betu hu anamon. Ba bribi koso ababe tojo ase nyame ampata by the close of the week no acha abro so 1st of April fango emubo no ye bepeje mu akọ by 17 series per letter ewie ma yenko na yewura dankana mu o executive secretary Edima Petroleum Consumers, that is COPEC yane ndin komo enne na yenhwe nia obetimi aka ede afa ho aboa yen Onyonya for dan kana mu a ma ha.
I'm share with you sponsor.
Etiefo aje wo so na mpombo ko de.
Ahode ho meji di so ho ya.
Kristo adom we hu yan mobo eye. Ma yan hwe Iran, Israel, any America for omo akwa ba. Omo de omo teta na omo akwa twa ba. Sadia ebeya ebia me madwum na me kayo enjuma bi ebetimi ana nkrobi ana man bi ana nkrakrobi betimi anya mfaso bebre ewo mdwumedi ahodo a wono modim ne saso nti eho aba behia ukọ adwaman so a fango bo no emu apagya ekosoro Ghana yegina bia tesɛn yenyane nte sɛ anhwa pagya no emu bɛkɔ up to maybe 17%. Eba ne sana Ghana for what does it mean for the ordinary Ghanaian?
Petrol no ntumona badada ejebo obebo omatumo to be Saturday
where the mesra asa baby awo no minim basa wo ben radio ni too much and I say ha emu no obi bese feedback
then radio
okay
actually menim so say I'm sumenya feedback o
onso nya feedback wo ho asemo enye hwe ye be ni kakrakra nti wadama ye tie
stations no that they would say and to move abeda so na no pay petrol that's one and visit towards the and the kakra diesel the choma
ma ye dane ye ho na yembra na homa ne munye yewra dankana mu ahoma ne munye kra executive secretary Edima COPEC ye besen akone na aso biem na ye ne no akwa din komo akwa kasa na ya hwe masa kofi ho a montwe ne mbra na masa kofi mbehwe emboa yen na ade no ma feedback dodo dede wom aha na ye hwe because say nya pagya fango no ebo ne mu a me say affect every sector be affect your face affect your face unim definitely ma me na akwakofa banche aba no wo betu menne the same ebro aba fom a ma wokosere mu kra na ye say botto ni nyina aye 200 Ghana na wonya ne board den kra no aye 230 Ghana yet yeda ebo benku 5 cedis ene dokono 5 cedis ne 7 cedis we nipa bibini anti emu pagya affected bibia mayamba ya homoden hwe se ye wura homai sisi ayensa ebetumi aka ne emu ya eja dankan amwa mepa cha otimenka
beto wonka pa ma menchia o ne watie phone
aha emu ye etiefo je wo so
Fede in America no. And yet I na entumo yatumo dada. That's num 12 diesel and the cost row.
Okay.
16.
Diesel do 16.
16 Ghana today. They give me more ton 16.3. They give me num 15.99. Whatever you look at, you know, Coca-Cola. The only good thing is that it did not a year. And a record store there, but said the encasity, you know, now encasity no chin in 9.
Okay.
And the Bunimona Quebec. Okay. I want to see it is not funny. Osha refineries the war, the Middle East conflict here blow the brain. Osha crude supplier, it should also be moving between countries and there's something you call global suppression. Cargo nanko. Nti omo here a process na Middle East they akoma China na India. Na Europe akofa bebre free China na India no. The yen yakoto Europe na Europe nya free China na India because Middle East in famba. Indirectly we are not getting the product. And see, that's where the problem is. And Kobebre, over Kaya, Iran, Israel, to punish us here, no. Now, I generally want to say, oh, and yes, and Kofashe, Matna, Ben Hopo. In fact, over social media, we know more the propaganda say, oh, of course, we are 7,000 miles away from the epicenter of the conflict, no. There'll be a problem, like I said, it shouldn't have an effect, but it will have an effect on Ghana because Ghana got top products in the free Europe. Europe got on the products to don't want the free China and India because Albania, Russia, Russia, Ukraine, when you know.
Yeah.
And it is now that America who said in Tokanimoy and Kakrano. And then is what here is Russian cargo now, not all the sanctions are total were easy down on the sanctions and almost a little bit from those places. But clearly a global issue oil and the whichever country you buy either crude or the finished product from no. Ubetuya biako. The announcement is on and there. Aba Mr. Dapetro so I may know the one to petrol and run out on and now. Kakra abedaso that you have to pay for. But the good news is and yet it is not and Nasabe no problems in THR. And then your taxes new one now, but name of what you call FOB or international market price movement. No. A whole science one I may know at this point.
Wonderful. Papa Mwane binum kase ebeyanka taxes bia e gugu ye fango boss no anka omampani hwe na anka yenye mfiri so se de be ya ye ho be hane ya ye betimi ato ebi edi adwuma bia ye die se ye yi taxes no e free fango bo ne so would you say no betimi eden sakra ye bi aba anamboa bi abrega na for.
Why that's petrol so and 4 cities 31. Is a walker tour. I am to mean coca once more petrol so. Corporate do na 1 city. The almost any deal levy. 2025 but the we 1 city and Fanisa buying a cost nothing. Where you 1 city every 16 city in this one. Will still be at 15 point something. It might not give you the kind of relief now, as to whether it's something government will contemplate. Maybe I remember telling there, the water tax in our for cities in the free budget because again it will mean that for cities they free so. But a buying income stream no would equally be affected. Yedi kaya bisa that yenche taxes no, but anko bebre maybe 18 hobe na yene a buying kobo blows there na yedi sa anko man, but I think it is early days yet. A buying people have any budget, but one thing so I will not be the least disappointed because the difference is not too significant at this point. There was 12 for diesel, now we do 16 now, so 1 city. You will get some relief, but again, Ochina sorry na Ekobioa. Yeah, here now I got because where the kind of tax and that. Best Bank of Ghana for now almost a moment in city no. Once the city is very healthy and now okay, no. And one that although international market was pro no, a bit me but still no so lose grounds, then that would be a problem. If one city never for us as a state to keep your balance where we are now, I would go for it. Although said the you know, yes, that's so. Ghana need be a home because clearly, some 1 CDB and now 2 CDB and now 30% be per liter there, rather than bottom. So, whichever way you look at it, government will have a decision at the end of the day to make. But either way, the decisions will go. And you're disappointing because where you are, auto one to be free 16 point something, you are still above 15. The difference is something, but not too significant at this point.
All right, and see, Executive Secretary, you brother Kramwa, sir, Nyame amfefie nantokwa we kwenimwa na se including me no antenase ensijina ye say okay, my yemfa yakudie ngufom na yenjai bibia na etoa so a say na yebesi hu no ye da kye te say have we been able to project into the future and see the consequences that we may face when it comes to one more into Korea?
Mejidisa omwa kokan to Korea no. Omwa calculate nyama ni nyina ye. Omwa amfa pen ni paper anto ni nyina ho. An calculate the effect and the net effect and impact potentially a bit have it. Now realistically have it. Probably people thought say, oh yeah, Kobombi run 1 or 2 weeks. Almost mean to be now a baby, then we have defeated an enemy. Unfortunately, no. One of the most critical choke points as far as petroleum movement across the world are concerned, you know, that Iran, the moment there's instability there, they block that strait now. My friend Hormuz, you know, petroleum. Said there was the corner. As of a neno, or more allow some amount of cargo. Bet saying tankers nibi, ethiya, and a bomb will be near Chile.
Okay.
A correct tanker for no more need a tanker air friendly to them. And you're not bomb on be dear Chile. There's still uncertainty, there's still that supply suppression, no. Amount of maybe a cargo and can be passed through on a daily, say 20 million barrels. Now, Omujai 10, never saying not 10 now, but there's still some global shortfall that they push the cost of products higher. And the earlier the war comes to an end somewhere, no, the better for the global economy. The Ansah, the Bank of Ghana Governor Claudia Tujano. You could be looking at the inflationary issues becoming a bit harder than they currently are. You could be looking at the general cost of goods and services going up. Some local transport operators are already asking for their 20-30%. Clearly, war no enjoy across the world, including Sebe. Residents of America, no ABA or common 9 home. So I speak with you, fuel has gone up more than 16-22% for the American people. Oma 9 Omicron yeah. And the effect there it is to everybody. You can only hope that some peace, some way, somehow will come about. Amba a born of across the world. Ghana will not be an exception.
But if you have more yentima mufono, you bet me I hear.
Opinion Ujai me a Becca at champagne for the countries don't want no episode will release it or more strategic stock. And this week prices could be stable, a bit fair, a bit reasonable. But stock no more release, you know, a finite. A definite and yet perpetual stock year releases are
okay.
So more releasing a price no stabilize the kakrana buying benyesika on to be fancy because the conflict can escalate. Iran was saying for $200 a barrel. America, the enemy, must pay for it for the war, no? And the Udi or Machi did the things actually Mahoke can. We just need to plan as to how we plan. Oko the Lome Bay Wahaya. You have some products I said a born at this point, but it's better to buy now than to wait for a time when the product does not exist at all. Maybe we'll have to find some money somewhere. Say a veggie be free, compost, a veggie be free, a buying honum near the Tokakranzo DSA just in case. And Tokana say, as soon chat, Ombakoswa Conebuono, a very difficult at some point. I will be happier to buy at 16 as it is now than to wait for it to get to 20 and then we complain. You bet me at the BSCI and to say, you bet me invest in Tema oil refinery. So I invest in TOR to ensure that in your crude kakrapo from Jubilee Fields, you're lifting now. We can give it to them to process. Whichever way you look at it, Abai will need to plan and will need to take certain drastic decisions. Abai ensures that even if the product is difficult to come by, the people of Ghana would have been planned at least.
I see. Obi ba se yakeka furu na yakeka madam pan said ya wakan yakan na aban na yedi ni kire no ono wo ho no mo agya ye nyina ye hye na se wo man mu a o take decisions na wo de eboa. Ma me bi so kopek fu atimi de afotuo wi a wo ka kire yen etiefu yi ama aban sa aban e be yanka wonsu pesika o be sia akura akobɔ na wonsu koto bisie na ama ye ho ankire yen.
Let me akanze Abai ene yenya nkitahudie da anopa wiye nyumre.
Okay.
There are avenues yene sebe ministry for bedin kitahon abai mpanyimfo ankasa bedin kitahon. Efutu obia sebe yede to edwa no. Ya na yene omuso din kitahon a ya dwene kire kakra ye wo no. Megidi enye yempo ne betre aban what to do, but aban no would also be concerned because the Wutie BOG governor no why are worried about inflation now. Only the inflation basket we calculate here fuel play a very critical role. You'll get to a point where naturally aban would be forced to act in one way or the other, but the AGD they will be proactive. Among China, even the stock now, global G7 countries release it to stabilize price. Ombe release the area now in Tokoigo so air possible. Now, born money muswa. Things could be very, very difficult. You can only hope as a Ghanaian that the conflict will end some way, somewhat. But Osha Iran now, it looks like they want to go the full haul. And so, Omaya would depend on the international market clearly. I also will talk Accra now this year now Oman for no. And we had said then 2030 and now 22, 23. It will be better to intervene from 16 than tell the chain they could do 20.
All right. Era dankara mo a ebeda se ye pa ewie inchiremu a wode aboye na eye huhu Ghana for se buei ende ye ba beto eye o first mo ye to first mo so a affect bebia de bon se ahokyere no na efi emu pagya ban kakra sisi a waboye inchiremu ma ye hu de afutuo ne so kɔ aban pebisia kakra pesika na on Toby Mfensie yedase obre ene wadache anti owura dankana mo a executive secretary Kopek na China ye koye na ye ne no ekodi nkommo aye hu empire ye boni se ma antukwai eto ebetwa na efe bribia etimi aye asomdwe na eba na ase womba ena ogina ho hye ne fugu ani segu nechi na ye na bra ne ndi nkomo anti abusha sa na ade no akwa Iran fo na wiata aso se America makanto kachanie santo kwa makokan de ye ne mo ko no full scale ye ne mo kwa awiase kra ye ne mbekwa ma yakode nyina asa na ekoba ne sa sisi ana yese Iran so obehwe aye ehunu se fango no ye beto no $200 per barrel na eba ne sa de asend ye yeti na ate o eba ne sa nti den ena so man no ye eno na Yewra danka na mo ye executive secretary Makope ke kan no eba ne sa ye ntwen se eho ebe kwa atwe kura ye nye bi nto so it is better say ni manimu ya no aban betimi aye biribi na wetimi apebi ede egu honom said ya ebeya se ho kwa atwe mpa ye betimi enye bi na ye de ayede aboy bra na ena ewie ya me ho krata tintin bi yes krata no ya twro ayi asifo na twro krata yi na ensema a wo krata no mono ebi enie ni Lashi Avenue Agbogba North Legon Accra Institute for Energy Security IES for immediate release 15th of March 2026. IES calls for immediate suspension of the price stabilization and recovery levy on gas oil. Well, the Institute for Energy Security, IES, is calling on the government of Ghana to suspend collection of the price stabilization and recovery levy, that is PSRL, on gas oil in the upcoming petroleum pricing window in order to provide modest but timely relief to consumers amid rising fuel prices. 2. Recent development in the international oil market driven by geopolitical tensions and global supply uncertainties have exerted upward pressure on petroleum product prices. These external development combined with freight risk and global price volatility continues to influence domestic fuel pricing in Ghana. It is expected that for the second pricing window of March, pump prices for petrol and diesel will rise. Although Ghana's relatively stable currency has helped moderate the full impact of international price increases, consumers and businesses will continue to face cost pressures. 4. In light of this development, IES believes the temporary suspension of the price stabilization and recovery levy would provide some relief to consumers without undermining the broader financial stability of the energy sector. And 5, the privatization and recovery levy was introduced to serve as a counter cyclical mechanism, allowing government to cushion consumers during period of rising fuel prices and also to rebuild the stabilization buffer when prices decline. Suspending the levy at a time when pump prices remain elevated would rather be consistent with the policy rationale underpinning its introduction. 6. IES notes that while the relief from removing the PSRL may appear modest on per litre basis, the cumulative impact across the economy can contribute to easing inflationary pressure. And 7, at the same time, IES emphasizes that other structural levies in the petroleum prices build up play critical roles in supporting the financial sustainability of Ghana's energy sector. Therefore, a targeted intervention through the suspension of the PSRL represents a balanced approach that protects both consumers and integrity of energy sector financing. And 8, IES also commend ongoing effort by the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, to maintain transparency and efficiency within the downstream petroleum pricing regime. Finally, the IES further encourages government to continue strengthening domestic energy resilience through improved storage management by the bulk oil storage. Abai enhwe na on suspend the price stabilization recovery levy on gas oil. Said ye be ya Ghana for yenso ye ho ebeto yen. Anti se abai anhwe anye ne saa ensem bebre na betimi asi. Na abai ye ne saa na ye ho han na abai ne so boka. Hadie ba konso no because as I say abai ne so nya foto nya sika. The economy is run on money. Ya sika na ye di buman. Na sika ni nyina so se bi otafra che ye nkowia. Ye tron kakran na ye boaboa no na ye de ball mine ho bra ante se ekoba ne se bio ye be yi to ne ade nyina nso afifiri ye ho ba ha ye de nanso aban no will run at a loss e de ayin ne se ye and among be ne se ye tu as a nation, as a country. Is there anything that we can also do to give the government a helping hand so that onoso enyesin enisu a wo pese wo no wo betumi ayana we eye asemsebe ewie ye be din komo enkomo ne doso enti baby awo no obadwane e live na wakan ye ho na yedi enkomo Accra 100.5 Accra 100.5 Accra 100.5 onim biribi ewie ma me bia kwan ntum na memfa course mako du mefa course mako du a eno na memfa course bia biem obefre me 0302 2080 90 0302 2080 90 abubo ne ma ba kumienu so ye ni yewra dankana mu akasa executive secretary de Makopek IES for the Krataba mayanko na yenhwe ne wa home so. Yes, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tapija.
Yes, boss.
Mema mo anye juma pa wo ye jabo my Ghana.
Amomoleni ana.
Ai pepe.
Hey. Minia.
Me dasi pa zo hu me.
Bemo.
Ubo juma wati aka fam bi chese me hu nye meyi no.
Nkakra kra.
Nyameti ase. Menye hwehwe ni mu.
Nyameti ase.
Ubo juma mo ye good.
Nyameti ase ye dase.
Ye da iso ase. Otafija.
Yes sir.
Yes, full an issue no. Sane na one
Yura dan kanamwa.
Na me okay ma me kono say. One say Bible aka. Eno de me gitum Bible aka say yemre no sa no ma we besi. Na America who are your nuclear weapons? Who do what the esie? Obi so aye ne de esie. Iran say on kaso koto ahye obi so but for safety. Other than one kwa attack Korea, over Kaya history eboyen. Sa Korea young guy, North Korea young guy no. Ono so yebi.
North
America Korea no no so e dey wo so no ho kire America. And America who says akwa no na form. Enti waye na de esie. On kaso ni obi okoto ahye obi so. Metim be na wo meka me a. Enti ye den na America. American kaso on for bu ma UN no. Otafija say ye make one follow on for bu ma UN no ye wi ase nyina pa.
Oh me we adwene.
O say
me na we adwene pa.
Yes. It was sorry prekupe na de wo ye ne ope wakoto ahye obi so. Na wo akoma afide ntokwa na afun we wi a. I mean why? Because o land size no, o land side, the huge land side than Iran. Ntu bu no say o ye kitete ye ka sem bi wo krobomu gan dan bi ye si te klewe, se te jo. Teye kitwa na esu ni mudu. Afi na wo back off. E ma hwe ne wo dia brain wi ase nyina nsu sanso. I mean why?
Okay.
Medasi.
Medasi mamen call for front so. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. How are you? Mejoso.
E ba do mi bizo asan why?
Ubi sami asem.
Right.
Bisa se metumi ayiwa no ameyiwa no.
Sir John, Sir John. Aye. As I don't know where the man over.
Me pa chao ye nka Sir John asem wa ha mesra ye ni abre ye di nkomo fango ho nsem na ye ka wada ma wai enti me da se why fine and wape baby atena wie kama nyame nhyira. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, 0302 2080 90. 0302 2080 90. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yes, boss.
Okala nini kaka sama sama.
Mate, my entio.
Pacho, na afternoon match dey say afternoon we are kan nene. Nti e na ya modi ya so. Obi enti o mu. Gana for obi enti o mu. Nti ono what you kwa e pe ayi. Suppose now order no into the parliament go. So we say mo yi ni ho. Na mo forget through ma say mo fan bra we dey kwa na enti po. Aba.
Ayasemo. Mate. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. My gosh. Yes, sir. Udini be free.
Some do La Paz new market.
Some do to say.
Nyame adom boko na mo so e.
Christo adom we hu ya mobo hu ya.
Ye da nyame ati. Say fu nsem ya ti yakos de si yi. On say ba de fu any ridiculous ra. Ama ashen nso be kosoro. Because you see drivers na ba se sie no wo fro car no pa. Ka so se madina so be tiwo abofu kura na be tiwo airport junction ko emfa wo. So be forma also be gi madina pepe. Ti mesrem pen fo mo modi antu na mama because man na timu no bia ne the way ne size ti na batima amuvu. Ile so bi ba na ukọ do road fair ko ina na so bi so be sede be 20 Ghana. Na driver bi achimu saje 30 Ghana. E de oya wo na e ba o manim. Nti mesrem pen fo modi antu na mo na fu eno kosoro ko esa driver be take advantage aye de mo pe. Amra na mra kanso.
Okay. Menso medase why be me de wo ma homa is way. Hello.
Sina, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, boss. Let's say.
Oh yeah, Obana.
Okay.
Over the home sense from Westland.
Home sense.
Yo, senior.
My NTO.
You don't want me to my farm way. And yes, I'm contented with President Mahama because medical catch yourself on your saying they will be like my so she sent a new idea a tama. Aye le family ye juma ya minshira no on bo mo to jana mo bi o mo hiem enwu nya atwum Ghana fo nya atwum ye kasa ye betum no mo totro omo kai meeting enwu nya atwum omo kai meeting abotum eso ye tro so omo fa no kode ye nyina ye Ghana ha mo woni ya mi juma
home sense me da say hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Me pa cho udini bia free.
Pacho me did Linda because I adenta.
Linda, adenta to say.
Nyamia do adenta ye fine.
Ye de nyamia say, lay my entio.
I'd send her me sad, be a me friend, me makes me a friend sad. Dear, how many say? One who say Bible car same be say Bonicatia a bantama. Nipa bestro Bonnie. Ye who say Gana obi betumi akokumobi na nipa no ya janu no ni namo. Na afi na ka say nipa no human right na de we no ni right ana ma nipa kunkum draw to say because first kun nipa na to life umba biom ana ye kun free wa nipa nkum ne yonku nipa sa o mi de mi hawa ni o.
Okay.
Okay.
That's your concerns. Linda made us say someone make an what divert in the crowd ya kwa copy baby. Anyways. When a woman home is we. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I came here from Machimota.
My NTO, Bema.
Nana means some you pay. You say Ghana, you will see Cabe Bree, but Sabi and Penny for no more who can be for some boy you can. The Kaiser for 4 times. Not Singapore for and Yakwana compared from Bombay Africana at the coast Singapore. For 4 times, not many penny bin Nampa, or not a mammy Singapore.
I see.
Now, also, I'm crying, Singapore, but I'm calling Cassian up, no fancy from Circuit to Accra.
I see.
And then go need to be the Sram or Ghana has your own. And I'm many fool, a man, some people. I don't be something, how much would they charge? Not so. I almost just cannot say America. And come on, for the police Saturday, so I'm about to come back and say 2 CDs. A collage 1 CD. Look like a government can make it a money. It's a woman and because what you told me, and also I don't know anything. And I'm going to come so on. This could be something charges and I'm saying, this is Kadia. I don't see, I'm not sure. So I'm just Kadia. We do Saturdays, Sundays, Fridays, holidays. And for the 4 people commands on second, a bank do 1 CD. Brother, because the government Benyan. Last Friday holidays in the Bank System, they should be they don't block traffic. Oh, we are no money, no more. So, there's a lot of things that.
Oh, unfortunate. Akate, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Ejuma.
Ejuma, yeah, that's it.
The Nyamias, Paucho, near councillors now, Frey, and I said, 2 now from Mokani, and I did to say, so mine over here, or my penny better now. Situation, you woman, near was a Siano, and swinging for America cry, maybe as a war no better. Nanka say futu o mokam yenu no ni nyina on fa to nsani on se ne ebe boa o man no se ntokwa no koso a enko fa ha o mre yen na aboa yen ma yen nyina yetumi enjoy the peace in the country se me nyame shira mo.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Nyame shira on so sa obi ani so biem enti yemfa calls bia biem yemfa frefo ni nyina si ara menkai wo say season show so ana enne ewie wo hanom a odi ofidi ato a wotie bi ye nyina ye boa kwane enam so my Ghana betimi afa ne ntoma pa de efra na efe yakoyenim se bribi obi be say account 19 na aka woton aha enti odi utra baby ye say oh na me de memfa ho hey ebefa ho Bob calling Jumbia, what to you? I said, ye mi sanare ye wara ho. Aha. And Tiboma yan trace as o mine na yan green quetchre, na yan tutun your monkey can your mambumu. Yan juna pa, na yan she, near o mino, a betty me akko, na aqua wie, na Emma in Chirimban so ba. One man becase, sebiota frache, ye papanum ye jani ye nanum ye nananum ye nanan canso amwan bobra, aquasanam pabra. Ena wono me boye se basa na chese ye din chirema no hwamo ankasa ebi ye bedi nkommo enti ye boye homonde se yensa ebeka Smith Boahin or ye research and energy analyst Institute for Energy Security IES na ye ne ono so edi nkommo akasa na ya hwe ne a eko but ebi ma menka biribi nkyerɛw menka asembi nkyerɛw ebi ana wonnim medi nka aka ewo hanamoda se woni pa wo sori a ade aye frɛ no wose ma hu hia wo pa wose aya po wose na se obetwitwi wose a won se okasa gu nipa so a nipa nyama bi wose is everything no esin na egu enum no enya ni fufuo be na mbɔ men kan be free enum beba no ana ebe kyerɛ se wo bɔ wose ho ban ne frɛ no oral health no aya wo bɔ mbɔden ya se odi be yedwuma ana se dabi mesra wo Pepsodent cavity fighter toothpaste eno and there will be a use your day pon kolase na ye pompany phone so say Pepsodent cavity fighter the only and no be kura kojira store bi supermarket bi na water paste obeka chiro say me top Pepsodent what you say and one say ubenye bi anopa twitwi wo se kama na ma wenu mu aye fine wenu mu ate kama twitwi tekire maso twitwi dodo mu ne ade na biribia aye kama nwumbre so beda na waye ne saa ne bo enye den Pepsodent cavity comes in 175 gram, that is the big family pack. 120, that is a Jakwa pack. 65 and 12, no sachet. Uba to me at all because a 1 year for no Bama was sent and what yes as a Wusiano or Senan Suenya. Na efe abo osene so ho ban ma wo gam na so enya na ho odin efe wo kasa na efe enframa efe we no beba ne so na aye kama enti kope bi eto store any supermarket bi ebe bi akwa so Pepsodent cavity fighter toothpaste ni bi unya bi a ebeboa mayanko ahamane so na ene Yewura Smith Boahen enkodi nkomo oye research and energy analyst Institute for Energy Security IES na yembisa ne se sadia ne omasi kwei ye fango hu nsensem ani statement o mo issue ehe ene de embe kwa kodro Smith ma ha
ma ha open me chia utie ko nyina ewie
etiefo je so pa ya o start kra o ka uchi na em te asampo mo ko de hello the bacha o temi ka de
metonka afina metonka
ya do ba de ase mame na wase wo bre ne wadaje ya wenya amayen se oni twetwen komo ye fango ho nsensem ya na yeka sisi afango na ebo no esura na epeja sa yes dia na mo kafa ho
me da wase bebre biem yes ye position as an opinion say government buying intimate and suspending the price stabilization recovery levy component now the consolidated as amended the consolidated energy sector shortfall recovery levy the component of the price stabilization recovery levy should be suspended consumers relief kakra fango prices cost gas or any gasoline diesel gasoline petrol customers who beat me briefly. After this morning, a fango price around $105 per barrel. After this afternoon, $101 per barrel. Until the effect of this, by a landed cost more for the BDCs and also the export price, OMCs now. Not sure say after this morning say the first pricing window place diesel at 15.99 Ghana cedis and the petrol at 12.49 Ghana cedis. Diesel now is a percentage increase of about 28%, which is a very steep and sharp increase. That of petrol now is around 13% increment. Then I buying between the one of the reasons why I buying the price stabilization and recovery levy at the buyer some years back and they say the fan wombo a cosora I buying between a cushion consumers I am an ewo senior bayer yet to mean fairly the effect of the price increase increments and sharply ewo yakuto so and only the reason why I buy introduce price stabilization recovery level. The same the farm will go back from on by the toy kaka de atoko. The esapeja no more the toy or madison kaka crano at the cushion at the asha my senebaya ne bono intimate affect consumers sabi. So the sadia any ne juma I say emrenaba say ebe say juma way to cushion the consumers from the excessive hikes experience. And we should know that this is the first pricing window. And this is some of the little things that are buying me now, Obisubeka says, okay, I mean, price levy, just 16 pesos for diesel and 14 pesos for petrol. What is the significant cushioning consumers? Per liter, Obeka says, 16 pesos but we share the cumulative impact on in terms of volume of the liters consumers at large we share long vehicles that consume large volumes of liters and they also purchase the diesel more and other official transport operators say in the long run, this cushioning, the suspension of the price stabilization recovery level, it will go a long way to help them.
I see. One will argue, say, abino a yisa a toy a free honomoa, the stabilization and recovery levy, no, ye free honomoa. Aban no ne ho nkyere no.
Well, after last year, I think Aban declared a revenue shortfall of about a little above 4%. So obviously there's some sort of revenue shortfall already. But you can't say Aban and go out of its way, no on cushioning consumers. The purpose of price stabilization with corporate level, they work on it. Say in situations like this, it will come to our aid. And TNS Aban is going extra, is doing extra to cushion your consumers. It is mainly the purpose for which, and indeed, OSHA 2021, COVID never we full price of course late 2021. Aban then a cushion by suspending the stabilization and recovery levy. Indeed, even in 2024, you will say Aban suspended a full of course I could do by 17 Ghana cities. Aban suspending the price stabilization and recovery levy to cushion. Either than that, we would have been paying for more marginally. Until so Aban may not necessarily be going out of its way, regardless of the revenue shortfall Aban experienced here the last year.
Now that Yesha and Tukwe eto enya entwai Aban no eyisa recovery levy the free on price stabilization levy the free on and among ben bi na Aban betimi etu a ebetimi aboa magana for ye ho ahare yen kakra because ye hunu say to kwana say enya NCSA enyamba na wie say the Iran for no kan de as America for the one say akoto saman aduanim wo mu po bedi.
Yes, Osha. Hello?
Me ha minua.
Great. Osha baby your energy sector ejina tebia energy sector wom say we are net importers of petroleum products. About 60% of our petroleum products are imported. Ebia emfa directly the Strait of Hormuz are corner air cost physically your product emfa honum. Okay. But indirectly, the price build up be due to the scarcity of the product. A Brent crude benchmark na Ghana Ghana uses our benchmark. No say there's a price benchmark. Any variation in the benchmark and one yes we use in the area BDC. Meka BDC or more fang on the fiaman no. The bar they base their pricing based on that benchmark. And to say we are not importing directly from the Strait of Hormuz, but the indirect effect based on the scarcity of the product. Strait control 20% of global fuel price. In the vessels and the scarcity of vessels shoot the pricing of crude oil up. That is one because I said vessels or more rerouted. And other straits or the Suez Canal, the Cape of Good Hope, and the other straits are modifying the vessels the area obviously prices are going to shoot up. The scarcity of the product means that prices are then across. And so we are miners who import about 60% of your refined product from outside. Based on where you are standing, it could be a good or a bad news. A buying there is not necessarily a good news for a buying because a buying and a air customers and citizens. So it be a private entity there, because you are profit minded. But we are buying because sorry. Any fuel price increment. How can we consolidate or appraise what we have locally? Okay. So, for example, HBS is saying recently now, fantastic work and management in area. They are first performance test of the first CDU. Yes, I say. I buy a debate more in terms of how they can support and fund substantially produce it. The good news we are getting is that Store wants to increase what they are doing currently to from 28,000 to 45,000 barrels per day. How sustainable is that? And when they start buying entry, yeah, we know that since you MIA locally, about 30% of our products we are consuming here. And also, I say, how can we consolidate that figure? Is there any way we can also increase it? And I share sub-region now, West Africa sub-region now. Say how we can intra-trade amongst ourselves. Availability of products, but how accessible is the product? Osha Dangote refinery, for example, how accessible is that product to the Ghanaian market? What efforts has the MPA made so far in terms of making a request for us to get some of those products? So because the geopolitical dynamic is such that when Kenya in terms of how you can mobilize yourself locally. Any disruption in these settings, it will affect you because no man is an island. You trade one way or another with one state or one entity or one organization or the other, and so any effect in terms of the geopolitical dynamics, will have a direct impact in our situation. For example, Mama, or this illustration, critically, your vessels emphasize Iran, emphasize the Strait of Hormuz, but indirectly the price is affecting us because the scarcity of the product will mean that prices will shoot. When prices shoot, the benchmark of Brent crude oil and that of WTI, which Ghana used to do its costing of its products, will increase. And then the consumers will be the direct will bear the direct cost of such price hikes.
I see. People are of the view say, okay, since I say a cost between Iran and Israel, ne America for insuta and ya dear to enya etra, and ebeya and carbinon cannon sassy, na se crew DB, and a better na ya straw, and na said you didn't can se to Temoyo refinery so bet me said you can increase one more output, one more refinery ina a pejam where the akosra nanka and then so for how long can we do this as a nation? See a better be na ya straw a better crude nanka ye diaba ye maimo nearby. So in case he say a corner escalator to a certain pedigree ya then a boy am I high and kakra because industries are running on these fuels. And so what do we do?
Great. Hello?
What happened?
Great. So yes, just about last week or so, MPA, MIT, based on industry data, say we have about 5 to 6 weeks of fuel in stock. And that is not what is reserved anyway. It is what is already in the system. And if we have this 5-6 weeks of fuel in stock, for the short and medium term, this can hold us a bit. And we must also recognize that we're in the first pricing window for the month of March. And IES is calling for the suspension of the price stabilization recovery levy, the first pricing window of the month of March. So one is that we have about 5 to 6 weeks stock of fuel that could last us. I think COPEC projected saying fuel credit could do 17 cities, but it has. We have been favored enough say could do honor, mainly due to some of the stocks we have already in the system. That is one. And then secondly is that this is also the first pricing window. Our prayer and say there will be a ceasefire in the Middle East, and I say, as G7 countries, they can release 400 million liters of fuel into the market. About bring the price and it down. As of this morning, when the President Trump issue yesterday, other how do you call it? NATO countries, M1 or open the Strait of Hormuz, which means that speculation also brought the price of fuel down from $105 per barrel to $101 per barrel. So our hope is say the geopolitical dynamics are air cost no ebetimi favor yen because already we don't have enough buffers locally to sustain us for the long term.
Okay.
For the short and medium term, the effect is what we are seeing now. Say in Caribbean, and say in 17 cities, buying any buffers kakra ye last year, and kwan kudu honum. But say situation maybe a buy will be exhausted, and these buffers will also be depleted. Then price we may not have a direct control of that. And another thing I say and pointed out, very, very critical, and I say, if our exchange rate, the CD's appreciation has also helped a little bit because the CD has gained a little bit against the dollar in the past month. Dollar, and how does it affect us? You're careful on any dollar. The Bank of Ghana auctioned these dollars to the BDC. When they auction, the exchange rate will determine how government will auction the rate at which government will auction the dollar to the BDC. Into the exchange rate, it means Gina SCPA, and the effect and also directly and immediately, sir. So as long as government is able to manage the macroeconomy to ensure that the exchange rate stability is also there, it may take us to the long haul, and also bit me. But say and can we say all these things, are short-term measures. How do we completely cut ourselves from external or portal for exogenous factors? Blocking from those shocks. That is where the conversation should be headed at to ensure that sustaining the petroleum downstream market.
I say. Yes, Mr. Danida, ya mutani abaninya dinkita ho have Ansah so dinkomo. Sa advice nyina no modi ama aban age atum say obetu ho anamo odebe edwuma.
Most definitely one of the good things this obviously this current government has been the stakeholder engagement aban area. So we hope the government will obviously come on board in terms of this stakeholder engagement. And the first step is what we are doing now in calling on government.
I say, Mayana was a ewie se bribie ni hono mo a ana futu bi wo ho a wo de ma aban de mo na mo ne mo kasa o mutie wati ase na emfa wusi bibi wo hono bi wo a Yewra Smith Boahen obepese Ghana fo obehu Ghana fo obeti na mo bi wono ma timufo ne so esese yetuo the wono ma ekokofa fangu ibe ekopom so wono ma wo mada roma yenye bito no bibi hono ma ebetimi so aka akira wo mo
fuel in some day and find your politics.
Okay.
That is one. You can petrol politics, Yeah, who effect that is one. Okay. This a real direct impact at the brain into me before. After this morning, more news for the what say GPRT some person conveying how this increment will affect transport fare. Yeah. So fuel dynamics and a more dynamics there. The politics and see the buying say especially IS maintaining for a long time say this 70 years, but what has been the significant impact of toll and now we are current management it may turning around toll since 2018 toll ain't mean any major refinery and production beer. Mainly a storage facility. But we are grateful to the current leadership for making turning things around because the energy sector stakeholders are commercial. So a lot of effort must go into how we can turn around to completely 45,000 barrels of air store capacity in terms of refinery. It will really be a great help to the downstream sector. None futu kakra meeting the amaba.
We better was Papa Smith Boahen, Research and Energy Analyst Institute for Energy Security IES. Baba, we ya dase nyamen kan ho no mbo ho bai. Ya dase na obre no wadaje.
Me dase bebre.
Good. Auntie, yeah, by inano. A fan go home some a buono to mose, or shed the equana, and a pempo dear or body and chadie from 105 to 101. Just so at Kakra and a Trump, I say, oh, you know, Europe, a share moi. Na wonom reserves no omunjabim gum said e be a ewiase ho beto Iran nso aka awiata so said e be nka kan ne se okwan bia so no obemaki sure say barrel no edu be $200 per barrel banisa e do how pa kese na de ebre wiase afa na nyina ewiase unya use 2074 ni bia then there has been a fallacy. When I say a fallacy, I mean there's been an error in reasoning. And I say 2074 ni de a year juma papa. Wa high blood pressure, wa high blood sugar, wa and then we are STDC be a wa ayana wa koko, wa koko kuma hono ya liver infection. And I say asthma, ovarian cysts, no ye juma kakra na wa bro lungs infection. And I say when your cancer cray ye one early stages moi me pacho etimi etutu ase kra ma hoto. Onim obi ho no kasa ya na enka pacho kopet T74 2074 Mr. Nibi ebeboa ema ho ato nya na mbia tondro nyina pharmacies over the counter chemical selling shops udo okanshi drug lane ebi honum opedoso puitu abefre 0246 073498 0246 073498 and 050 162 8931 na wakwa koje wodie kama na aboa ebusuafo ensoso ewo efie anti ene enkomo no ye babedi na nana otu dako ejina akono aba mountain se NDC amanyoku no ento aba ema no nana ekọ as deputy communications officer national nana ewo fidwe mu ene se da nana na ya motenenka ene nana position no ni post no ekosoro nti wo hwa no frosi kechire ni producer kasako na ode ko na yehwe nana empombo ko de
mejoso kechire
osino this year
Ochima PC miamni.
Duwa uni.
Yeah.
Duwa brantio.
Otafrija.
Na we need a drink.
Say ayi say akoko nwa anoma. Anoma nwa akoko.
Okoto nwa anoma.
Enti me suan wa. Okoto nso nwa anoma.
Na we need adin o.
Wende. Oman no no. Atoda no am wani ayi dinka. Atoda nso no abre ho ase. Unfortunately. The kind of a country we are to no. Culturally we are tamed. Nti amamre sabi akanya hye ewo kwan bebre so even though sa amamra boy ana o hwe soma hodo no a eno so akanya hye bebre even though no so boy na eba ma akra dia ene na yenka won asem kra enye na nsen asabi ya pa bejimi bre ho a na eni bia ba anka ma akra dia aka ne enfo monya hwe na ya adwene mo no
na ka se mo fanto na so
na ya adwene mo no eye ejade anamuka sepe anana ema wo muchefa but ye nyine no nimdia me yehunu se nia oba timi ye oba metimi ye oba timi ye man bro so in fact kwaji agrika asemi or say if you educate a man you educate an individual if you educate a woman you educate the whole nation enti me ka kwako wie se na wo kire se mani aden me ka kwako wie se etoda bia se wa ma homene so a yebekwajawo ana am say ubu adi bebre ebu
jimifo ye de wosika edwananka
eno nche se meka se mo bi mu ade ba na meche ne se ye wo mra sabi ya kase me pacho so ya bia de je woniema ana ye wo mra nso a to de mi nso a na wa kire ne eden kakra ba ne nyina potogum hwegum kosan kwansen krum aboa se ne be ya Ghana beti ma fan ntuma preferent ya
God.
Otafrija.
Nana otu dako. Nasa uko for National Deputy Communications.
Yes. National Deputy Communications. So say and then minim say good boarding sense no ka. You be reho ba.
Yeah. Good boarding sense.
We bisa no ma min chire mu kakra. Penyifo se ne onim to ne yɛde ne gyina kyerɛ mpɔn no na ayɛ bida ɛwɔ hɔ a yɛmfa enso nyame yɛ enkwa hayo na kyerɛ sɛ ɛpono no etwa sɛ wode akwadaamu bi ana obi ɔwɔ akwadremu wɔ anima bi ho ɛtena sɛ apono no ɛpono no yɛ pono bɛn communication pono no yɛwɔ nkurɔfoɔ mmiɛnsa bi a yɛka Ghana amanyɔsɛm a ɛba sɛ yɛni nkita ho a woyɛ mfiri mu enye ye nyodi kan ɛyɛ lawyer Sami Jamfi sɛ lawyer Sami Jamfi sorry na wɔkasa wodi nkɔmɔ a entiase a ne nkɔmɔ ne de nam no obi abɔ ne nsɛm no ebe wi ase so na dwumadie a asɛm no wo so ma sɛ nkɔyɛ no so na asɛm na kɔ wie mu die obi te sɛ Basintali a no yɛ na bɛdi akyire yɛn nyire ni Basintali wo ma MPs bebre dwane amedru mi bi kura sɛ Basintali kura ne document na sɛ wɔkɔ kasafoni bi so ana kasafidie bi so a oni ko a ɔno ne ba bɛgyina no wo makora hwɛ obi te sɛ Akugan so no ɔyɛ lawyer Sami Jamfi so deputy o hwɛ ahobrase kasa o hwɛ nimdeɛ kasa Akugan de bɛfa ho sesia sɛ bɔ na Akugan ɛboa nko de bɛfa na ntem na kyerɛ sɛ wo mu nyinaa ɛwɔ mudie wo mu nyinaa ɛwɔ kadamu ɛwɔ nketahodie ɛnkɔmɔ na o hwɛ adwuma sɛ nkrɔfo baasɛn a ne nyinaa egyina lawyer Sami Jamfi na so adwuma ma bɔ ɛyi NDC every opposition ɛdom aba aban mu a etwa sɛ yenya nkrɔfo bi a adwuma no mayɛ no ɔmbɛbɔ ho ban hwɛ ade ni pani nkɔ ho ne sɛ wo opposition a utimi ka ne apɛ bia ne ahia ne sɛ de waba aban mu na emom so obeduru aban mu a won kasɛɛ no etwa sɛ okura no enti de bia me kasɛ maybe we've not looked at it but I think that it's even more difficult to communicate for a government incumbent or a government in power than as you would have communicated whilst in opposition. It's answer and some of the nyina no ye tasene ba nyansafo akwese be sepa ne koni haban enti won sem no betimi e de anugwase abraban no won sem no so betimi ama ban no anuonyam enti bikako we se enwuma om ye na ene media me hwehwe mu ameyeye and my mental lawyer Sami Jamfi baabi obia na wotwe mu me ko office me ko chair me de to nanim se nenua me pese me ko ode ne hira ma me owura Akugan so de ato nanim panyifo aka me gusu a me consultation ya de adwuma no a ye de esi wono mu ye adwuma ye behia wono a ewo saa nimde no a ombetima ye saa adwuma no enti me hunu se sabre a President Mahama enema ye de amani nyina wahwe so yi wo hwe the economic metrics say inflation say referencing rate say policy rate funds ahodo a wasete I mean adwuma bebre de share President Mahama Ansah no se me ha mani nka ho nche mu adokron de betimi aka se wotwa mu na etwase enya nkrofo a betimi abɔ ho dawru yi na ebedi nkrofo tirimu dem na afimpuni ne aduonu nwotwe abato no a ye koto no ama yenya anuonyam o Ghana fo anim no mase am yakwanya se Ghana fo ma NDC yakwanya no a ama obekoso a aye dwuma ye de aso wo sabi na NDC ewo opposition ya enim de ani osuahu na wanya nyina wode kwakopɛ mantwe baabi ada demu so ɔte aban mu a ana obetimi de san hyehyɛ no obetimi amana bam na no na ho abahia sɛ abra me ye nhwemu a mehunu sɛ lawyer Sami Jamfi ɔnkɔ ne dibre no na me no owura Akugan mo ne mpanyifo bi kasa mehunu sɛ abedi akyire no efo no mo so nkɔ mu dibre no ɛne ɛyɛ akonya na abɛda mpan ɛyɛ akonya ana atɔ ɔwɔ adehyefie adehye bɛpre na abra adehye pre saa akonya no atɔ no etwa sɛ yɛhwɛ wɔn a wɔn mpaboa wogya ho no sɛ mpaboa no sɛ ne yɛte ɛne wɔn we betima bɛhyɛ saa mpaboa no so it's not just about being called a deputy communications officer and say obenam wo say me a communications officer no and then okasa Sami Jamfi a communications officer he holds that with pride because Sami kasa utimu se nokre ensemfo mu odro saa na ne nua no aka nyina aye enti memu no se enye se bia menimbro so yes knowledge is like a baobab tree no one man hands can embrace it alone adwen eyento etoa but o hwe osuahunu amanya sense ntwereni for a very long while o hwe osuahunu amanya in politics and e bi nim se me my branch member so many times. Don't me Kwabena. Woko me signature wo. My former branch youth organizer, DC3B. Kwabena ward. Me a former branch chairman. Baka youth organizer. Me a former cooperative constituency executive. Although Kwabena. Me a former vice team president. Ewo University of Ghana. Matiti branches. Woko do me Kwabena branch bit say God first. Na no to da come na mte. Branch bit say Balloon Gate. Na no to da come na mte.
Okay.
Of course, even on radio, a brand name more ding. And you hear member. I'm a major and another down quick for do any member quen with them. Yet the who see what for dear. I'm a maybe doing crofo by if you pay ye in some combequien. Accident to my range in ye jina carry film, ye jina painting, e could say a bino, a benye to me. Na said ne, a bina ye to me and penny for the count as them say. Near what put tamana fian. Inchris what the boom. Ye di boomwa, na ye boama communication agent. Ye di boomwa, na ye boa ama 2028, and this year saying ye to me. Ye di boomwa, na ye boa ama yakasa me yempenyin for ne hu grassroots for no how. Na ometimi aboa wom. Na saying rasa me jemfi na dama ofre grassroots e Ghana. O si fia da bi o de si won mo a wo hia wom. E de ya no ye obisa wo how no ahwe okon betima fa so aboa. Na na effect kwa uba ye headquarters last Friday. I was there. Now we thank for dom so ba ni ade a lawyer Sami Gemfi ne ba ko minim se afoforo so ye ni obetima ye de but ye kwa akoko wie se ye mu bi eba mu a be giri se betimi abin mu yi na beboa ma o man ni so ade hunu through NDC enso gina brand
Nana Otuda ko na meda wase e do why ni nyina and say unua e wa agrumu a ye wu mfiri mu enti empire na yesre otwedi ampo Nyankopon se ne yesi we ni so oba de ma ni bremu ma me de behwefo ame ho e bia na eja na ma retire from radio de behwefo am se Otuda ko de oyeminu apreko pe
na ebi mu kra nim se o sha se o GBC
oh
one day so better na woman wa bakwasem
na so
yeah so how many years in radio
this year I think
34 years
yeah this year 34.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
One day I saw Becca. We know onye journalist. Who say na me from senior journalist.
Ebe di dinkrophobia na ya se. Yeah, di penifobia bre na ya se. Yeah, ebrane so nana e beba Becca. But na u follow near Echo ewo my Ghana. Sa ye fan go honsem nsemi wa hwe bi good board honsem we buy ya say good board for procure laptops be now more inflated price now by 300,000 Ghana cedis and stuff. O do we need the assembly?
Yes, my mention sim free fan honsem no na e bia me fan be we good board e say me kan be dwafo no na me dem bitwam anokwasem ne say na me follow international news na fasudie bia no work na masian so a student of peace security and intelligence there sebi men kase me nim diara but ni ama kire for dia kire me no ama mate ntokwa ne bi nso aseye na medi eye ewiase enka ebo akire na ebe hu no se na watwe mienu pa eye Israel any America is why Iran so intokwa no war no ama ewiase ahwere no less than $12 billion. $12 billion.
$12 billion
in just 2 weeks. $12 billion is lost to this war in just 2 weeks. Eti na me bisa me ho wodem say na $12 billion see e dia na ke betimi ayama o man bit Ghana Lesotho and any of the Scandinavian countries are almost so ebre. Unfortunately, we have lost it to war. So we begin to say $12 billion is kakuma. On can say me be dui. Na ubure biti abenyu aso friend na nado dan kwa kufado. Sabre na the finance minister e ubura kenu fariata o se ne. Ye ne den o magana. What they apampan esiniti ma ye compare $3 billion. Sabre no mse enko kire om ho a be wi ase ye compare $3 billion. Ama brofu hihye mra ema ye ene igusu hye na ase. If we should lose $12 billion,
just 2 weeks.
Now you see, maybe who say eba eviase ahoban bonsemwa. Ana eba status say o man bi ni sovereignty ni eka ho. there were so many approaches.
Okay.
And maybe for the purposes of this discussion, I may want to use just 3 approaches. So the first one, liberals or the liberalism group of people. Say, if we are say and we know our issue is born out from the theory of democracy. Say 2 states can never go to war because their democracy is near there. It's the ideology of the liberals. I didn't say we are second. One thing I say we are second. Ne we are saying na esan say one dom who akwa share and kabum apam. So they learn by living by corporations. It's international cooperation this. Yeah, what this United Nations and it's any man. So they believe say sana ese iwias echo. And as long as say any man wo no no a bed in center however. But of course almost were criticizing this theory say say any man in now. They mum to kwasan ba dia na say there's more to it. Now the other ones the realist people almost practice realism. Now, according to the realists, you need self-willed government.
Okay.
And now, we do not practice a unipolar system of government. You can't unipolar system of government. Naturally, say a memoir or mind back so a world superpower. Anna, any aviation swa a bipolar. Bipolar, which they say, a mind you need the so do back in those times, somewhere in the 80s, Odia Sabran said, "Been waiting Chinkaka." Now you were the then Soviet Union, USSR, and you were the United States of America, and now almost grew tip and crow. So, me imagine we are practicing more of a bipolar. In those times, now. When you come kasa fa na suafo mu ne na difo mu no bia na unipolar because our time no difo no beka no fine na no bia de akiri nya but se sia ba bia wo no you practice a multipolar system of government so we America obi nso ye China we ye China obi nso ye Russia we ye Russia obi nso wa forming what we call the North Korea or honey ade so the realists believe say at the international scene, Ansah say you need a superpower. Our Kasubia no be abedentino. A self-help government. It's the channel say America, Jenny, America, Ghana, Jenny, Ghana, UK, Jenny, UK, Cote d'Ivoire, Jenny, Cote d'Ivoire. Because you do we are say more at that international level will be a prayer be into America won't same be was see America, I beg your pardon. Has permanent interest, but they don't have permanent friends. It will make my America down for that. Jack, what's that? Will make my down for because they practice a self-help government in the realism world. Okay. Then finally, may come as so. May you see the constructivism form. Where mono, notion is formed by social construct. It's in your not no. Sa no. It is a say. France, how many nuclear weapons?
They have.
Why is America not going there? Why Iran? So by social construct, on not doing say Iran a nuclear power. But unfairly threatened by France. Meanwhile, it is the same nuclear power. It's the nuclear power Iran I think France nuclear power there. Me patch when America not here. Enti America in his wisdom edwene enyeme bia ebie ni panwene na ni America be ye bia what the boane man and na before yenya entiase adenti ana ye wo sovereign nations kire se wo de and yet and I'm coming to the functions of UN and I'll come to the war pretty shortly.
Okay.
And yet US temi sorry kwachi Maduro, president of Venezuela. You could see say the United Nations critical say is it because America is the biggest financier of this United Nations?
Maybe which America embu UN nankasa aseko na America embu.
It's because Krona can how much do they contribute? Russia contributed how much? UK contributed how much? As compared to America, if we are saying so your feed you no on what on your bay.
Yeah.
America no because it makes sense to me say Venezuela a sovereign nation. Now another sovereign nation tell me question the president. ne besi ne nke me akọ ese bibia ye okay
obi anka hwe bibia nsie
sanka Israel president no bitime che na what would America say? Social construct. Because to the Americans omni Israel for ye d'accord. To the Israelis omni America for ye d'accord. Now, as a student of peace, it's not within my interest to say America is right in this war. America is wrong. Or Iran is right in this war, or Israel is right. And even aligning, and even in alignment with Ghana, international policy framework, non-aligned. Kwame Nkrumah si yenhwe benkum yenhwe nifa yehwe enimte. Enu nti na nado dan kwaku fado at a point could di try ho concern. People were wondering na job we. Because here they say nye odi for di bem no fire. Here they say asumdwie ento. Me patcho na make out here.
Yeah.
What we should understand so say entokwaya ye queen efa baby a ye superpower when it comes to oil producing or oil production, for want of better words. Not less than 26% of Eviase, I think 22%. All you are using largely FAO. And we what Iran can do in terms of oil production, that's Strait of Hormuz and Kasano. They say, "Fan where found man." A basin ne Iran for catchre Eviase say, "We a bear ma FAO." But by social construct, me research be a mayor say Chinese for the edge. Russia for the edge because they say we are a cooperation and alliance.
Yeah, a cooperation and alliance.
But America for the edge 80 min. Israel for the edge moment in what's it they will fire? Any idea? Let me save that because Menja Farouk Al Wahab. But the point I'm making is what is the devastating effect of Santokwe on Eviase Fangonsem and by extension Ghana? I mean, look, I say about $103.
Yeah, 105.
I call 105.
Yeah.
But 88. And you know what it means that in say, Sa Eviase how no? Ye ba betiche munka krenka ama all the countries. But ayana me challenge in say. In 1960s, that time near Otema oil refinery. Now Ghana you discover oil in commercial quantities. Simple. In fact, you discover in commercial quantities. And yet,
say helicopter be a crash or tema. Helicopter be a crash or tema. Na Jerry J. Ewo Honum. My uncle Jerry Hona, Yenny Jerry Casa. Hello, Jerry Teminka. Minima de Codia, Mac, assembly, I can't, Macuma Besso into the Mamisha also. Because I don't know why it should be so. Jerry Jane, see what Tema.
If Tema Metropolitan Daycare School. Yes, I did you and see if we are roughly about entire way see roughly over 30 minutes now. And the one you say small or private is small one see. Now I'm so up baby alande into Ochanu and ye answer baby ayetino ababe shifum. But fortunately for us, and then Kayan and Papagana because baby shifum when we say school now, a shifum or daycare need school inside. Baby I shifum no. Say yabo apata wa kwalani ti wo usia de enti kan na de nkem say antia but yes after that you know it was a plane crash there such that immediately a crash land the pena ejato e bo wona na ejato enti omo nia yes if am yensa me ntwa video no because I can't imagine me try me dey enti yes omo yensa na nia some of this small private jets.
My member at here from Facebook she's here. But a helicopter be a crash at whatever. Now I hope any pamiansa. Nana any pamiansa.
Any pamiansa na we no viewer discretion. Where want to mention.
Member,
but send yes you know And the day, my
capital.
Hey, it's the panel down, sir.
And the panel, I see, no, the panel say, Omina, I see.
Hey, that day with the
Facebook. Yes, yeah. Maybe Sakojo. Jerry, you tell a school for Nicola no more.
Hello?
Yes, Jerry, may say a school for Nicola no more.
Hey, voice the way chepa. I can hardly hear what you are saying.
Obi adwuma esa se wo ye na metra na makike mu a me voice nyina asa na won teme nka no e ka say
ina who say Ghana incidents are here na ni pepia beguwa. Yeah. And you already noise kaka ha na also voice in the air chepa. Honestly speaking, I can hardly hear him.
Jerry, my members are Jerry, Mr. Na school kola no more hen, and kola no more hen.
Osen kola no omo pataba kun wo wan kola deke en kola no motinase. Ina omo so was structure ba ko ntin kola na bi tina sa patana se. Right opposite patano ina we ni koye de ekobo fom ni nchen no. But the ones and in Sabako, everything Sanqua Utumuse, a boa patano, a boon on the side, one side of the patano. But fortunately, in Colano, they were able to rescue Cola a patana senior. So far, Anka teacher, Anka a Colabia. That is the good news. Apart from Omo crew now, we know Omo fire service, the police. But before fire service do idea, now conform more around no. You say every means a doom jano. Fire service before they got here, now doom jano. Since how many police for near us here?
Jerry, Timubia Maya, armed forces for Ghana armed forces for a helicopter.
No, yeah, Ghana forces helicopter. Some of these private jets, who are private jets in Kitty, but we don't need to modify a drone, some would get the white in color.
White. I am who said I'm you.
No, yeah, military way. Okay, private, some of these small private jets. Yeah, sometimes you see them around.
And any woman before now, before now, have
sorry, what's it?
Any woman before now, before now, have
oh, I am bro, a Ghana for Yabi. Bound the backside of Baba could crack on. Oh, here, but it's all Baba could count.
Sabre, apart from police, and if I service for why money, I never shot it for no.
Mulandi, as a Muyan with you and your crowd, I can hardly hear you. I'm struggling to hear what you are saying. Power, Miss Struggle Partner. Now, can I meet you?
Until the annual passer who can be yeah, come on, not yeah, Kahun for Nina Train, said you can, your passer who can be on the come.
Oh, okay. Sisia and Yakozin say a way police near a Ghana fire service one waha since our incident in this year. Into almost I'm saying what for a almost the bags maybe about bags now say a crash here. Almost the bus scene they are carrying them out. But the difficult situation here, Nipana Wahano doors. Some of my police can him way can on my own. So currently that is the situation. But the good news is I'm school, I'm both school, I'm both pattern and Kalani Snassing Zuzi. Omubia one cat. So far that is what has happened in the Antias and Papa. In your AC and then.
Jerry, sir, we come for it. I believe, sir, actually, be any Jerry, Beba on chain. Na Yenewa Bedin Como. Where Jerry J, drip coordinator, TMA, Tema Municipal Assembly, on one of your calling chain, and I will come for the Mayantias and Papa, Nipa Makoma Kumi and Sa, just or Baba Kokra Kaho.
It's so bad. Your best, your second cat, you almost hear your lines in the mind. Having said that, we the Yankabianship. Yankabianship. So be Odifo be crack ya. Nigidian bedding. It's answer Ansah and ABC minimum dates, but minimum say say to Augusta. Yeah. I don't know the date. They should forgive me if it's a wrong date. Now we say no I bring Kufukru. Na Dr. Omanebuama and Empenyimfuaka. We lost them to the grips of this cold death. So some few months on, we're thinking Sanka is safe kakra. Yeah. and they say we also a civilian helicopter. Na near that Facebook we I wish sanka obia wo tie me betimi aba Facebook abehwe but viewers discretion unim se wuntimi hwe se ne ma na memma na o hwe senior sabi mpanyifo anim udidi afache me ni papa sad so we about the cross betimi identify them because no come on we no akra o me kwaba me no ka say kura se abusuafo nte sad enkwada wo school omo beba fi akoda de ho ebi kura oyire so kwa adwuma me bantam me be yaduane asida de ho na maami nso wo mu nso a ebi ane kunu kura mpo no wo beku atu kwa afi no waba ono nso twa ne yira mana ba fi emofra ba fi mami ya chewo asembe mpa na ebeka kire emofra it's bad and eba beka kire emofra but in all these things kwaju aya me bisa me say helicopters ne other vehicles and from how airworthy or roadworthy are they? Phil.
Okay. All right.
Phil. Cars are, for instance, and then I'm your console. Their cars are true roadworthy. But can't ankasa worthy. And who besides see road no one here. It beat my imagination, say. In the first place, road no worthy because you just can't buy any road. Granted, impossible road near worthy. Car no worthy. How do you say? Say be car road worthy. But car worthy anyhow. Tro ahodua and nam yakwas. Tetanus friendly. I just say BB and chow trotro no the tetanus coffee. When you juman say it was our standard. We have standard authority. And we don't know me standard ana. Vehicles no crack say.
So we need the share DVLA.
No, but see, so if it's the job, no, so DVLA largely. But we still have standard authority.
Yes, but
I don't know if it's not within their mandate. Otherwise,
I don't think standard authority.
Even though DVLA are largely in charge of the vehicles, but like maybe say about the standard unit of the car. Say car we know how worthy is it? Say you approve say employer
DVLA.
So if it's DVLA job, maybe so. Your cars ne gu ya kwanso. Omuhu ana.
Omuhu no omuhu saying.
I suggest Sanka me one of these times, Omu hated the road. Omni MTTD, LEZ. I know say it's not part of their mandate.
Friday na even weekend you know one more year ma.
No, Nikwe is doing well. Yes, the DVLA for they are doing well. But me tell say where your kwan you bet me afaso ne aden yetim de aboa. Eti where you even the car, natural plane. It may be say, sir, a helicopters near day. One so how where they are they? Well, be come maybe an eye a little fort be. Back we meaning say, or many men no muntimin cool. Based on the report, no. Then so be a fog, no, a bottle and a SC only Pakuna can you because pilots no woman, no, you'll be so much experience. And then the deputy pilot, no more so much experience. Oma piloted for so long a time. And share altitude na no more one. Sabi no ni sorosa. Etinu ban saying and the Antinian savvy and queen. Is it because the helicopter was not worthy? And this you're been a classified document. You're been a classified actually Ghana Armed Forces book. You're from Ghana for no you pay taxes ni atofu from. But thanks to John Dramani Mahama. Under the leadership of the acting defense minister to forcing. Now send some command new helicopter to the Ghana forces.
Yeah.
I pray says Kabeba Hono Mananka, sa helicopters now winning the best engineer. And this bring or begs the question why John Dramani Mahama, the president of Ghana, is still using his brother's aeroplane. It begs the question. Okay, because I know say me fancy here. Say. Yes, Kwajo me fancy here. Nankrofo who say one of the reasons in Tibia President Mahama Gusu Yusu ne brad ne plane one of these things because jets nankasano how were they are they Makwajo
Koyo akwaba
me use that figure
bibi aboko de
yanko panda roma de aka ne de abai
mon share kojo microphone na mon ye microphone ni ye mame ade want to make you
sisi aye
okay what am I say
na
me na ho
kojo abo
minia
ayawa so honey west wogon
yeah was
the former NPP youth organizer
me ana me tuwe
ona tuwe
is it UP plus
this is how UP plus
honey wo
kojo dia na kasa bisira ona one hwa wo
I am na lancha matem squad ni honey yeah NPP mo ne ko gina
sa
otumase yeah
okay
ebu man na ke bebu nse de joma ma ebu no ye nti unti ni how they say ministers back up you na so you mo fi masa dia ka ni no
ministers ba na
mutaka memo bo ma wana me ya Richard for ma say what why dey bo mutaka idi
na nye say basa no so any Richard
and UP plus mutaka Kofi Amaboa communication minister what be the name Sam George Richard for na
o say ama Kofi Boa
yes
papa ni ye edwuma
ka wo wo ni so
oh that be
plus you edwuma bi awoye
that be o ye edwuma
oye edwuma kam na du yoko obi am me na ko yoko na so edwuma oye edwuma wo ni so utuma se
oh wo ye edwuma
ana me se me di ko yoko e do me chese o mo aye
no
wo mo aye
yoko mu a Otafrija opinions are like noses
yes
enti no we ye ono na dream so to me take away from me
but na fan crofo bi ono afa omo e obi an consent o mo nyage what am I say
oh and no cast in the sadia
because of the juma now me person wo ya wanya niam bi nti ba ma na siko di yoko no
okay ni awo person wo ye na wanye ni awo person wo ye no
yes wo yama Ghana ko to no party ti mi ko na nim no na se bi ni wo da be ka mutaka de na gya wo hwemanim wo person wonye se wonye me ka ho de won se wonye ma wo ye ti kro we mu and ye wo we transport I mean minister na me boa
yeah we have transport minister
Bobie
Bobie
just why we was Uber Yango ni ada omo 25-30% ka on top spare parts on top fuel on top bibia and one app na oye no and odege ye minister man abetra ho e ko 2 years on timi pom free company kan say wo man no be ma contract na mo bi percentage ba enu ka say bro 10% eti emetima obi kura mo te be 5 or 7 and 10 no one thing ko we go for 25-20% minister nsi wo common app aye no omo aye amode gym rant eni maba wo
app no ye common
sa na me ka no enya de ehu
to develop an app ye
enya de ehu se play na yetimi nya bi we kwa de so betuma ye bi
kwa what we develop
digital center na mo ye no ho fa so ni say
na wa ko digital center mo
me see e ho fa so ni say
develop app wo ha
e mutimi create mutimi develop bi bi sa no man ni man de ana
ko je
wo da wo so be ma djuma wo tie me be ma na ntene ma ba wa djuma ama mo timi akọ mo anim enne wo ba ni yango ni ai boat no wo da fa is lego enwia mo keka ite pack djuma na mpeto be no ba tie yeto ano de nti fa ne pe wo ko pa se bra wo nim de obeya ma me ko offline etu do ope no ko offline
and your friend pani am so mo wo pani
aha wo bi wa zaka in and out was okay na ko in out me ba na dey na ko offline na de me ko na manya no de a de na se ba ni sa tie se ebo ni se minister wo ba se otimi oni manya kede Sam George ti wo ye and not one me be ka cho se we bebre data auto a bebre e mini hwe na hwegu ye ti kro we na wa brand e nyoma wa be dada na nan kokrafo na mrewafo se DSTV for kwa mo de fa so Ghana ha enya de papa Nigeria and South Africa ya de ne wo no even here omo premium no and here compact na pe ya 380 no sa no mtua ho converter sa no dia it is on one to so am nyina ko gya the same scale nya de abete Ghana fo nyina boy nsem ma ya ana ma wo so amamu one week so amamu 1 month 1 month je wo so be ka che Ghana fo so mo de we ni be ka ho na dia na kwa be ka ho
the channels ni be
ka ho oh e channel wo ko fa fi Nyankopon na aba ball ayebo ayi Chelsea ni ayi PG be bo no wo be sa create another Chelsea PG on chana and papa na le hyem no do mu tua me ntua the same thing wo be there ko si sen and this is over mamu ma se mama pani kan say ade a won pani ntro it is that time also first year student for no obi an just school ka university for no emra minister ka say o omko then a year say level 200 and no mo dey at no president ka say there be mo refa no obi eska nyere ema no enti wono o hye ba odi so ti ade no benya ministers ba ko mienu miensa bia wo mo te wa emfaso bi anche se bi enche de ni wo mo so
anti Richard for na wo feel say first one e hwan
first one mutaka the whole Ghana
because of recruitment he won sense man
no ba the ministry no bi odin sabeka bia ejigu
oh
baby to say apart from recruitment here
na dwuma kase wabeto so
na interior na you guys na dwuma titre pa na recruitment
in Ghana anya bi say security 7 and then now not what am I say omo na se no omo ani je ho ana omo akoma to omo yemu ana adwuma ne floated dey say flow ana eyem posu nkrofo so ana
national security for ya for omo na yentuo omo ka eno na me ya we one say
na wo obi a wo bon ho bai Messi winning one cripple highness I am
national security for no be
national security for no national security na wo ko flasta house omo mutie ni
I mean
won se nipa ne ba on she coat no she in a white on she shoe
black
on she shoe black on not decent untua nika wo person e dey na die hu police say nipa na wasa amani tuo so mfa mo eniema ho bai wono so untua nika na security ade e ntuaka eti na make say sector na wo no eniema nkoyie etu tetene ho saa no ase ho ana wonu se na no de no ne de recruitment ipe no se ko to aba anko what say end this vote ba bro man tell them about na to aba wo ana kokrafo no bi nim so me ko gye ebo me twam 50 me eja manyanya da security metu akobi eti me wo fa ase na me baby ene e force ene ko akufo ado ba man krofo betra fie be se 8 years o mu nyanya bi anko to this is a time I expect to push them krofo kakram so akom wo ba ya so what me di nipa nya to pending one day disqualify wo bitimi nya qualify 2 hours later disqualified. We do one say we be to 2 forms or yeah 1 exam so yeah 1 and 1 we ya do no win the buy a disqualify no buy no police dey na different and ID no immigration dey na different nipa ba ko no wonu medical senior the medical report and dey kokori no and you basa it is any nipa we the institution we are no na say ka say nya racial for only first ana
Obedi first.
What the first number 1? What was it?
I believe that President John Dramani Mahama in his own wisdom in the cabinet.
Ah, that's all there. When Yanseni Bakope.
Bema.
Nansen no ni Ghana papa.
Who
what was it?
Yeah.
Ba no na social media no. Won so onye obi on think of bi. Won nam so no hu de ekoso. It is say so ba so ye de ye. Na o man it be toso. Na nkrofo mo nya o mo akoma entity so no. Wo mo nyina ntimi nya we no. And na me no NDC collection NPP collection. About very close. Because this is your party, MPP in your party, yes, I know collection be move. But also, Niaman kitchen, because now yet here, and I ran the other cocoa farmers in your to boom room. Your defender Pachonia, the other still now, a craphone was Yaw Mumu. We know because cocoa shed, and your carry will be the end. I now the same room. You better so the end, you better on 3,600 no, but we the 2,500 no, and yet on Nina or them cocoa crashing so or Kwabena one carry. It is animal when Nanko Fakuma, 1,000 cities a crossing its Kakatoa. It will be the Busumi best in Numunsia, it will be who got Tony Yaman and what did he? So at the end of the day, Randy about a chaff to be. Yes, so try Gajua, then said one, yet we have a cover. And Papa Randy Chabe 50%, when number 25-30%. What good will now is Uncle Fremu Chatuguno. Sandy Pammy will be on full platform down. But tough again, Emia will be on what Trump and get it to say. The minions are what maybe did it. And I could get what call round to it. Obviously, in a parliament, into on the parliament, in a fin to campaign Pony. Or do I saw a chair of platform be so can chairman. Do I saw whom by being a young bracer where radio Pongan chair. Why, you hear an echo for tea like a crack, as a guinea for. Well, be sorry, I also saw to you said that you were tapping that way. So after you have one can be NPP, near a UP, no as after minions and this ni we are called baby. We are so reward in the cocoa board. Near the amount we are not better to our papa. A careful is good. What must say? The farmers day, the day of away, a farmers day. No, way. Farmers day so voter regions at man a Greek minister who is so cannon. Nanke koko issues simple kwa check them say any na dunte be pa kuafo cha wuti ke o cha say suntam a ke kuafo no po hu don ba cha mo niam also a wake up draw but drew wake up draws me wa wonye coach and anya technical director ye draw MTV so ye draw bi bia wo bia wu
I think say he's part of the
problem no ye the main problem
yeah GF
why management committee member management committee draw on fa ho Bobie a team better for home. Hey, na se be na mukai team no ye boy for home. Wo dia ne se ye kɔ no ye hotel, ye di diem ye niema. Team no bebo 2 bebo 3 nya wasem. Eti adura nya wasem. Hotel ke bedam ne ke nya ye so emre ni nuye. Etu kwa da brekra all the farmers cocoa board. Suche it's a small work up ye mfa. Ye it no semi final there do quarter final you no baby ya. Ya wake up we.
Oh, are they?
Wake up we
prophet of doom.
I'm telling you no. Yan kan krenti yan kan krenti that's why oh. Ya still na moto we poetu egu a wonam so won anim no. Ya kan crank ye no baby adri. Et yan kan krenti boys o mo yi. O mo team for bi anu baby a. That's our players.
Okay.
Omo ba na mo pu omo tri.
Kojo.
Nyankopon fa me nua ya bo mo a play do makoto on for omo nkwa enche baby na no mba betra wo fidies na America that dey near car transport won sem na catch us me nya dem afu plane bi em da because na say dem dey na from yenu ni nyina no owuo ne nkwa em fu plane ma plane ko ka wiem be say 30 minutes 1 hour me lande na mpai bo
o sa wo he
last 2-3 weeks what ma say won't mama say obi agment won't mo company di e say to madam photo ba ko last week or frey or ye will new in your phone so baby and sika ne niam wo nyina or frey me testing ya 1 hour no that so ewiem ti se atianum na tebege sa niam wo mu so niam ne papa ne bege so nyam betira
serious
I'm telling you what timu anu aka cho say it will be a difficult to land but I'll try my best well because asem we would nipa be try best wa afidie ne nye obo ni mu ane ni mu di kukum no wo pe baby asa lande yen kan champion for sadie ne nya eno ano no emre bi atwam ne amfu play wo
but I think say our aviation industry we need to it falls under transport I suppose
yes.
And say you or shena ne
I know the papa
I experienced once me do Tamale airport na eno so yentu mainland yes san wie mu sa 45 minutes yes san wie mu what is that
you fit Tamale buses they say me say must can she I feel na crowd you put can like must can she far from na crowd and so be another 10 watch me who dey now sorry what man say you better try one day cho ni a company for na to agu ni esu better sana all say we Ibrahim dey na mama dey no old one mpo south sam na say move and say wura mu a ekwia nyina ya odia wo bibia we dey gegegege uti no bi mon komo ata VIP the old ones bi aka kwaso no na sana plate here play ka uti hu ne ka framana ba we dey no ntihwe wo ho hwe Ibrahim dey mposse ye dey ambulance keke ama ye ho eno Ibrahim ni wo na mo akọ sa niam bi keke nkoso na mo dey aba na mo dey try your life tie sema ade we asi no ye di agura ye benya ne da bia ye niam na wiki na no ba ko ye di panifo kokko hwe hoi ya ye hwe titufoi enu say maintenance bo na enko black box ya na dem report when it in buy I don't find maintenance enu so ntimi ready what you say who say ya sounds a jar kata so mo say jai machine na wu enya de say ye use high ho ye wo bi bebre sisi enya mo fa kon na wu no mampani afa mani age no abakọ to na crep mu aye nyankopon da roma na nyankopon ato ne brother nsemu a wa oda brand ni wa one na tu om de kwa om de koba nyame fo mo mra ba sa ne ma na wu no enya me edutwa
ba sa e fa ko no say loan president ebe fire upon we as kwa Liberia and so ebe fire the koshe EPL also
ade nansia na say ya mo ko France esa ko so we ade so play ade so play as a president one country on fire ke here na so Morocco president Egypt president ebe fire meta Sierra president and then Liberia na mo say do mo money ya do mo no upon we what violation is le go ha me no ka say o park ni so bobo ni kro mu ya nkot violation futuro ni so bobo Monday starts every Monday violation park what aye tazakwa aye is le go ha no tie ene na tia e ho ya nkodi president you nkoto e kro ni nye e kro ya bontu eti o mo mu ni hwenti e na o me fa bibia en kire se de ni ye bubu Africa country papa nto bi be fa one day na si wono so de kwede makokro mu fa nkoto no mu na tomatoes I'm telling you etimi nua manyeji niema no so o mampani the best way ni nua dia wo nyusu ekopem se Ghana be to papa na mama di agro e be ko jawa to obi fie pepepe we na akoto school mu obi fie we gan kolan ke nyankopa mafia kolanko school mra
nyame na afefie pa
nyame na afefie pa na we krampo se ya no da
eni petre wo
but still no afefie
no just say we ready for
ye ti anyeye na school kola toto fefi na baby o no e what do you say it's more it's closer
we kram say timi mo ten fie be 1 month
me fa
because akola bi on must have we cross school ma beso na da
yeah
na e ko sunyane na return
Jenny.
Penny be an equino. Chatai.
You see, I did me from
Chata, we know.
Yeah, call Europe crowd. Me by
not my soul. Na ye me mama ye bad ne crash ma so me waste afi okasa
utin hu wa so mun ti
tin we okasa me tin we chiri na de enso be fu plane so na wasande ya de akofi enso de enti no senia kwajoka no very important ese ye me adwen ko ba kwajo ma me 2 minutes bi na me address some issues bi
okay
abusuafo amgo fia na me messages woni kwajo da bom de da e fra kwajo ye bu anyane hunto kra de brunya no baby ko fan so kra na kwaje enti ye busua sometimes ano baba iba ye nyema enti abusua enti no ase but apart from that kwajo raise one or two issues be and as obia Mr. Medemi, who was saying,
Mamima Haruna Mohammed, yes. Deputy Director of Communications, Hajj Programs Affairs Office, Ghana. Sheikh, salamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Mpomboko de.
Yamiado, Biaboko.
Alas. Okay. All right. Nana Minti.
Obia, Mr. Bacho. Oh, yeah, Memoir MPP.
The time we did hardboard. You one slow Dakomeka, untimi nye. Now 1 hour communication.
Now we are Muslim.
Mabusi of Muslims.
But you make a Muslim.
Politics are your advantage of the Muslims.
Now Muslim for them quay. Christo no quay.
Make us a meko. Me oh massive Mabusi of February.
Now we are going radio.
Metameka, no one listen to.
Could you have you?
That be Osha said the most. I them so aboard of here. But Africa, my raise this big issue. Nidikai, may agree with Kwajo 100%. We are here, your boats and the Ubani other network vehicles in Nigeria, and speaking well at all. And Mr. Jesse said. Is under the transport or communications?
It has to be under a boat, transport.
But the network charges
they also come in.
But the main thing is
okay. So I think say Ora Nipe and find into one not one year said on the issue of DSTV. I think Nigeria it will about $29. But the argument and not own reason is say taxes are your Jomo Nigeria and you the same taxes and your Jomo Ghana, and that. Or compare Ghanaian taxes now, was minim senior situation it is. But I agree with my brother. Could you say it too much? If premium now, or Mutiano, be 300.
Maybe you should Nigeria for the NB.
And you know, I think say but the only place me divert take a crap. Say my name is Brian. There some names or boss say the young Risha for. And I mean, say I'm the kind say and ma.
Obusami general.
Obra Miss Mikra general in Mikra general. Say me the kind be say obi a me say me de me ho Emma say me call for deputy national communications officer of NDC. Say me tena na some of these things. Bra peninka na man soso kra. Nka me akwa say masaka poma na manwa. No, he should give me a little latitude. Or mention some names. Say also say Risha for no and come on. First and foremost, Oyeganini. Intino or home pepper and every right. Say Sebi. Who say President Mahama Krampo Anna Abia Emo number. Ye impeach no. Obeti me akan. But and question no say I would as one semua or the Becano here.
Yeah.
We share Obiti say Honorable Amakufibwa. And Mamfa Kwanya will so Ghana for whom say Jumadi be bas watching. A patriotic journalist against Galam say. Minim Kwajo Enyina so. Kwajo say abroad here can say. Honorable Amakufibwa Honsem was what the Pakodan Yoko. Kwajo is a citizen of Ghana.
Me the Bahama wa we TV so. Make us say we the reason here.
Oh, set me back.
But how am Papa Pande who is your way to
I didn't have to say me no woman and saying me no can make a come out natural. Ose. Kwajo da mere na yaka. Kwajo be yaka.
Davi.
Na kwajo onu no ndibufu ade che ndibufu yo. Nyam ka ta se. Honorable Amakufibua Ayubia.
But he's working on.
Allow me some time. Time wa President Mahama yedini season. Our appointee Honorable Amakufibua. Ghana, your forester, your warrior about 288. Major forest. 44, you're saying. So you should understand the kind of a juma you share Papa Nessa. Papa no buy near 9 major forests. Yaye Makano, red zones. A no-go area. Want to mean Kohon buying because the terms of a year military accoutrement, may say a tour any ma galamseyas Nikurano. Na yem penny for you could put Kamiako as a Omoquano Musu. Near ye Makano, red zones. I am telling my senior brother Kwajo for free. Say under the leadership of Honorable Amakufibua and all those 9 zones have been reclaimed.
Yeah.
Is he somebody? Yarisha Fonana.
Dabi.
Number 2. We know to China. Menoka say there have been some installations. One of them is the Blue Water Guard Initiative. They are serving as intergroup for the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operation Secretariat. Go into history. Operation Galamston, Operation Cowlex, Operation Wahwai. You more in a bar, yeah. When we see me a PK such initiative, maybe Kwajo Kasa Mankasa. Kwajo, at the end is Kwajo member time. What is here? 2 minutes. Oh, I'm 5 minutes. Kwajo, 5 minutes. Oh, they made the memo. Nana. That be I said here. Oh, me and me brand was what their mammy. Kwajo, 5 minutes.
About 2 minutes.
Okay, it's what you saw, mammy. Miminya memra, Namdiaka. I'm for this.
Nasa wa sha se wie.
Sami wie na wa se agi.
I'm say 2 minutes wie.
It's in 2 minutes no. Meka ko wie say, o have Blue Water Guard Initiative. Adwuma moye. O have National Illegal Mining Operation Secretariat. First time in history, unya srafo akwakoche nkrofo. Ya ho mo bribe dom de aba chere. Ensida. Ni nyina ye under Honorable Amakufibua. Adwuma kese a oye. And as sector minister, look at how ode enema gu akwanso. Na Sebita Frache, one magalam say cry enya kono e mankrofo. LI2462. Where ye mra na do dan kwa kufado. Say. Ye beti makwa ye kwa ebritu mini akwa ye illegal mining. Ya kwa tu ska alcohol. Sebi, anka Honorable Amakufibua eba no. Sanko opesika entema no e pese nkumnya. Eno ne se nuanu me ho no etui. Wode ne ntoma ebo mo dia no. Eni sika no se eba ni. Obi nim ne dache. But Honorable Amakufibua under the leadership of His Excellency the President, I'm making sure say LI2462 is repealed. And I mean, can say some ranwa ye kwa forest, say ye kwa ye galamsey, ye kwa tu mining. Sade could in hobby. We responsible cooperative mining and skills development program. Your friend Aros Condem. I net Mausi, I'm a Mausi na dam. Sir Aros Condem be at the end. Yeah, share community level mining. Our communities in Inyan Faso no. Ye come boom in the form of committee. Maybe I see sa illegal mining na moye no. The same mining na mobeye, but you may making sure that this time Monsen forest. Under such a leader, what's it onyade into yem pabono. Maybe I mean who say 2 minutes na ma me face.
So me go me highlight o me di wan ko ina. That be one of the back up to BM. Yes. Who BM dem BM. Yes. The reason why I'm saying
yes anyway.
What man I want to see anyway. After na work asa. What man say? What's outside okay now what's say?
Me say no. Me say no kra.
Because the workers are
me say no. Yes anyway. And crofobia ho no mo a etwa se protect because of the because of the job they are doing. Maybe that's what it means. What I say? No, you are taking it in negative sense. Yeah, can't you anywhere. Not just say the person is being like he's being skewed towards a particular area. No. Because only Pakono, it's somebody in the end. No crop see a galamsey minister. We must protect such a minister. Namakati say, I can't be near you on Honorable Amakufibua. Near the galamsey minister ba. Now to try is as some gon ko galamsey. Until Numa Honorable Amakufibua yin nyina. They are refusing to see.
Okay.
I know
Kojo made us
say what can
Kojo woman me 2 minutes. Ya ko to be so Kojo.
I don't tell me person. Me can't say you if you no. Me more the one the reason tell me ni ko do yoko. it will be a channel who's a Kojo about some can. Before you as a minister, no. Now there's a task force on Jubilee House operations. Yeah, we late minister, Young Baby call. A defense minister. And on Maneboama. Onko operation e was in Pajancha, that's a Takwa area more. Tonko for 43 excavators, ebe good kwai no. It mean ne buy your 4 minute task force na obono. Task force na buy no. And on call your kaso. Your body taking in charge of machines they go near there. And the minister catching there be sa operation on a special operation from presidency. Into Memo Finance Anka. Make sure the reason to say Memo Finance Anka also matters. When in name was for no. And Mujaye. Tomuja ya ifofia anto ata no dwaraba mo and a minister film and a president too quite called Japan. President too quite called Japan or called Japan upon 3-4 days and the name was squad. It's at excavators na no na soldier for moga no mo 5 and a bakuma mi film to koka 4 no more. Ti 4 no more no. Ya mu man soldier for makoma 40. Eko chase soldier 4 no bia ya mo ya words away the special task force for your mobile dey no buy you. Ya we are where and more president too quite minister film minister also film president too quite one man soldier 440 eko chase soldier 4 no eko ga room ko share ho and almost machines na holding nyina me woni videos oni bibia e be a channel for
machines no
ana make sure no China need your mumiansa no abegi Ethiopia need your back no abegi wo bia camera no wo mu cheni nyina ma nkofo ana omodi ano
I see
ho adwuma ma nkofo sa de ko inna ko ye adwuma no omodi sa 43 excavators no ni nyina sa ko back ya me woni nyina me ba me na me say me wo videos ya obi bia omodi is busy ni nyina
you realize say omokoteche nkofo excavators those guys had legal permit.
It is not true. 43 ning na legal permit. Ghana for any legal permit.
Say we dey say me call Yoko. Anti ye
ntwa so. Yoko for am program am frɛ because evidence dey call no. Any videos dey call no more dey.
Kojo anti wo mbe frɛ.
Etimi nia no. Memo mama gianga say wanya nyankopɔn. Na se ye bodam say bo frifie.
Kojo
me ba.
Ma nfa nkɔ.
Ni ko ma lembele. Ko hwe nsuo na da hɔ no. Che we milo. I've searched so bia na ko no minister so to be bo galam say mu bank the chrome so there and ko no mo fi wo mre.
But in so obi di 8 years asay no kwaju you expect say obi di 1 year let
Jan 6 months
mama ko Haruna
onia
boko there
nyame adom
we mo udi wo mo echi a ho
ifani abro
yeah udi wo mo echi a kojo ye bo ano o ha adwen ana nana otunso ebo na dwene enti Haruna ensam na egupuno so nne no edoso
mikwa de ebo mu nche ye oye mentias
mikwa de mama Haruna ma yenhwe ena yewo some kakra fuel prices set to rise by up to maybe 17% and what it will mean for the ordinary Ghanaian we will look at that yebehwe gold board and someone also about Montana Babeka rejected claims of over 300,000 Ghana cedis inflated laptops procurement. Nefe Yashe Ken Oforiata on social America na Osiki US residency. Brum se Ghana ina yesi yemfan mbra o my Ghanim na umbe yin sembiano. Can say la nyadi amebada. Ana wa se honom. Anti Haruna my yanko na Haj what is saying
edika maminchia minipa nana
otudako
okaya hunde na michia mini akojo yebo
UP plus
michia etfo so ewie Haji board echia munyina
ye jomso
so yada His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say Omayen a chairman who are ordering all prospective pilgrims. What I said last week, Mebaha Ebeka some sacrificing. Sika I say yet we are. I think say this is the first of its kind. Hajj this year. Since any directives are every Saudi Arabia Ebano. And so this is the first time and see that. But also no Ebwa. Because under the leadership of Alhaji Rauf Tanko, the chairman of the board, you experience first time having your visa. Would be a coffee for 1 month. Ansah Mrenasu.
Okay. And to bet me a Bwebwa.
Tanko, the previous Yamama one.
There be one is appointed.
The deputy Tanko. And that's also Tanko, deputy Tanko.
The same person.
The same Tanko Nana, dear sir.
And that's a Tanko who from side deputy Hobby.
What do you say? You need deputy. There be you need deputy chairman and a deputy board. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama at the board.
Okay.
Near other board nano Alhaji Rauf Tanko.
Okay.
Near Unimona Onwana Yasa edition is say on Shemayen so that at least in summer etichimano MPP time na IC Kui. Oh yeah. Na Idaho Ansah. So Saudi Arabia the sacrifice sika yebetua when you go to Hajj. The visa processing.
Sacrifice economy Wom de beton dwan wo honom ram wo honom
my sacrifice. Idil adha no say wonim say yaku. Yeah, sacrifice yaku.
Okay, one kasa be provide a mo no wo
honom. Wo ho e ma obi a obeba.
Oh, okay.
Ubetua, that's what I'm saying. Say it has never happened. Say Saudi Arabia ejisika no.
Okay.
But this time no. Yenim ni enti omudi aka the visa fees no.
Okay.
Before you be more visa no, they will inspect say what we are sacrifice can. Because ohonum no is mandatory. But who Ghana sacrifice is not mandatory in Islam. But ohonum no different. Nano me rich ema etifo ema mutiasi. The reason why honum mandatory say ubetua no enu different in Islam.
State by state. Say Ebia, say Ghana, enye mandatory. Say Ebia, Saudi Arabia.
Want to say is not mandatory
in Ghana.
Meba, not in Ghana. In Islam, sacrificing.
Enye mandatory.
Enye mandatory. Emma obia oniska. So because God knows, meba, that's what I'm saying. Say ohonum no is different because you are there to perform Hajj, and after Hajj, there's something that you have to do. To purify me and to make sure say nia uye ya no nyame agia to
mission dekakra beso chire ma dekakra nia ye follow ye Islam and the Holy Quran and I follow Saudi Arabia. What is the position of Holy Quran?
We don't follow.
No, so please, what is the position of Holy Quran?
That's what I'm telling you, say
Holy Quran said
sacrifice. It's in the Quran.
And what's it then? Quran said.
Okay. And then Quran about Ubia Oniska. But it's part of one of the pillars of Islam. Hajj.
Yes.
It's part of the pillars of Islam. Sacrifice is not part of the pillars of Islam. Hajj is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Sacrificing is not part of the pillars of Islam. So uko honuma after this rituals the sacrifice is part of the rituals. Mandatory. It was Saudi, not by their authority, but by God's authority. That's what I mean. Say uko honum. Ehu here pa say it's Hajj.
Hajj. I'm one as a Konkroma Muslims. Tinyami adum na to do kroni mu dia. And she say be on my 8 different from Hajj.
There be enye homu ishisheye me ka about Quran.
About Quran.
Yes.
Quran so do
what did I say? Yes. And I'm saying say the sacrifice no tie you. And I tie for the sacrifice is say when remember say Utiha as a country and as a Muslim in Ghana and across the world. So when Niska it's not by force. So we enjoy and now sacrifice. That's all. But say who honuma Once you go to perform Hajj, because it is mandatory, and now because it is 5 pillars of Islam, Obia opese oko Hajj, minimum. Say you have the means, that's one. 2, you don't have the means, somebody is paying for you. But because it is part of the Islam and part of the pillars, everybody want to perform some rituals by performing Hajj. So those rituals, sacrifice rituals. Before your Hajj is complete, that means you must sacrifice.
Okay.
What do I say? But who Ghana there? You are not performing Hajj.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Money.
Now you apply.
Good. It's part of it. That sacrifice is mandatory for you to complete your Hajj. So he can na ye tuama obimu tuama agent $100. Whether they do it or not, you can't tell. But Sisiano, Saudi Arabia for say it is mandatory. Say uba ebe perform Hajj dia. Make sure say what you say sikano.
Okay.
As part of the visa processing. Okay. So that uko no ma yebe yamao. What do I say? So because mandatory for everybody no. We are telling every prospective pilgrim say ombo modi na kwetuya so that at least by end of the week
okay,
that is before 20th.
Thank you.
Your visa that would have been ready.
Let's proceed.
Okay.
Fuel prices is going to go.
Yeah, fuel prices in this.
Okay.
Somebody, just a minute.
Brush your teeth every day and night. Up and down and all around. Brush it clean and bright. Brush your teeth. Brush with mom and dad. Underneath and in between. Brush the germs away.
Pepsodent, cavity protection.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, akwesi sikedru amanfo siwaji. Jame yampa.
Den sikedru.
Eye basic cash na mana made me wona nsen no. Basic cash. Eno se ne de. Eye game aye bonu woni mobile phone so a ebetimi ama wenye sika bochu egu botu. Na say na mebo game yi wo me phone so. Eno ane se wo be dial *245#. Eye simple kra. Ye wo Ghana jollof, ye wo trotro, ene wo gold mine. Ene ma me Android phone yi na me fa twa bie. Ehun hia so be kra Android phone. Ukra yam phone kra na. Ye hia ne se wo network wo so. Na wo kakra da mobile phone. Dial *245#. Eye simple kra. Na say na me hia metimi atwa game yi as low as 1 Ghana cedi ekosi 1000 cedis emu no aya atwa na dodo na dini dodo na so be ka me ho na chere yen cruise water senya bazika se hira we die be kakra ma me na me so me fa ntwa bie ene onua agihwe Ansah emu no uyeye na etoma wa aya kan wa hima mu na nyame hira me ntiase ye be hia Basic Cash and Nkratui National Lottery Authority Caritas platform agiatu ubetimi akwen website www.basiccash.online and as your telegram Basic Cash GH bout take it to be a qualify with your monthly jackpot to bet me winning 50,000 cedis.
Give us P capsules. A memory. Manum bia ye benmemua. Kani metutu ya na minkuma boa sese de. Betu esa kum menia G. Give us P capsules. Give it to me, baby. Give us core capsules so e. E mane meme nyina akoko yade. Sisi yade amamanya yem timotete wo mo no. Yedru no no. Manum bi amama de me ho. Give us core capsules. I give it to you, baby. You give it to me. Oh yeah. Hey. Give us in no. Amen. Papa. Give us P capsules. And men are what if you do what you do cronkwan ever. Give us core capsules. A pain for a batter one more menu for an quadawin if you do me nunca home. I will draw to beer motophone. Give us Herbal Center, Teshi Mobile, and a Teshi Adriami. Phone numbers 0543 222 470 and 050 68
FD Ashusha Sa Ejedi Nkratwe Imu Ajia to Muse.
Fellow Ghanaians, are you aware of any wrongdoing or
irregular occurrences in any public institution. How can you help the Auditor General make the public institution accountable? The Auditor General and the Ghana Audit Service invites you to engage with him through the Citizens Eye mobile application. We are all encouraged as concerned citizens and non-citizens to report the suspected cases of poor service delivery, mismanagement, abuse of government property, fraud, wastage, and other irregularities to the Auditor General through the Citizens Eye mobile application. Reports captured from this app will inform the Auditor General on which areas of public service delivery requires his urgent attention, corrective actions to be taken to stop irregularities before they escalate. Your identity would be protected always. The application can be downloaded on Android and iOS devices. You can also access the application on the internet by visiting www.audit.gov.gh. The Citizens Eye mobile application is powered by the Ghana Audit Service with support from German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development and Swiss State Secretariat for Economic Affairs, SECU, through GIZ. Citizens Eye, speak up. Your silence may hurt us all.
Yes, Sinabo! Yes, Abba! Yes, Abba! Afizi! Obiaba Tomato Assassin! Ansah! Nobody the foam! Anu na Benji Estate and Investment Limited. Okofaba! Waza Bragana Funinara! Ansah! Langat Sam for Sembirenu! Atoya! Within 2 weeks! Naya Yamu Pepes! Nia Zama! Ansah Papa Gugu Baby today! Tropoli! Apo City!
Central University near B5 off the Flower Road! Shy Hills! Afienya Tor Estate!
Anambiambia Bebre! Insunan Kania! Are available? Yes, Assassin Suzy! Are litigation free and not secure. Aton Sassina! Not 2 weeks! Yaya Hunkrata! Nia Zamo!
Aha! Miatova! Mr. Kokwe! Nela Nibanyo Dinafle! Yikanya Gade Kamalongo! Langade Nyade Kamalongo! Kejagbana Dota de Benji Estate and Investment Limited! Afimanya Anibanyo Kata Fredume!
But Muslim Kanwe! Not Jersey! Not furniture! One main office! Our Tama Community 25 opposite DPS International School Junction off Aplau Road. Fresh
0555 229 909 Anna 0248 780887.
Benji Estate and Investment Limited. Ansah for. Hey, say the Mako who our Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. No, me hope that you make say and winti no manya award wa. Eya word bestie. Obian transe Emma Dumpem ya de ka say anase mo boya de enkan to dem bio.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Asa nyarwan te say ne ekuro etu no ne enkan ewana num. Oba na be mo pa wo. Ene enyarwan kaye.
Nansi ma me ka say ene spinal cord ho ekaye no. Greenfield ada romanti ene wasa so de gina na so epiem.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Our ultra modern laboratory and a diagnostic machine sa asoshe di pedie di mu ankasa. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic ewa Nungwa Dogon Estate Junction last stop fra 0243 983 906 and 0261 651 898.
Greenfield,
God is our healer.
Greenfield,
your last stop.
I believe. Okay, my Ansah Emma Kwabena. Oh, the season show. That's why Samuel Hunter, our broadcast journalist with the Ignite Media, is in the house. Haruna Mohammed Ewa Hanum, and Yeba Bedinkomo, Kojo Yeboa, Ebu to Hanum, and Nana Otu Da Conso Ewa Hanum. Sammy Akwaba.
Actually, my Nana is associate of the panelists. So on kind of he's an associate.
Invite to a platform. I feel the say a question again. I feel Samuel talk Sana I found the man who said, I found the man who said, they invite you now. Bote police here. Bote Sammy Bote
Master make him found. What don't know about him? Drop on you. What's up, baby? Say, you also soon anyway.
Anytime we say topic,
I say, your channel where you be any answer corruption.
For topic,
topics in here. We are looking at fuel prices set to rise by up to maybe 17%, and what it will mean for the ordinary Ghanaian. We're also looking at Gold Board for rejecting the claim that over 300,000 Ghana cedis inflated laptops procurement. Ebeshe no na yahwe furiata waye tintintinti na onugusua esikise US omaino emanu residence permit na abra Ghana for so we are looking for his extradition.
All mrekwa ofisi cantonment here.
I said if you never
Ghana flag boy ni.
Ne personal na government.
Ni fie
ni personal.
They didn't come menchia production team menchia menuan mo a e studio ha na asra mekosa ansem no no pay wo hwe the bonkrata bedwaso a kuni daily graphic oko front page wa say NDPC proposes SADA return to drive northern development.
Yeah, I discussed that.
National Development Planning Committee. Proposes yensan kofa SADA Savannah Accelerated Development Authority in Samrabia. Na mi hu ye no ano me bo mani na me yesu ina me se senyankopon wa ketua bi di mani pa da se nipa so otua nipa ka manasa zuri na me betua ne ka na me betua manasa zuri ka pa na wo yesrimni na se wo de besen eto form ana de nsagu form na wo hira okromu fo na hira manasa zuri a na onye srimni papa mani insano President John Dramani Mahama between 2013 to 2016 okofa Savannah Accelerated Development Authority at the buy. The program no enchire mu ni say yenuanum srimfo dodo no ansan say dwuma nhye dan ni honti no.
Omo ba southern ha.
Omo ba ase ha. Omo ba so mbenya dwuma papa bia. Kaya ye. Paupa enomo ye. Enti wo ye se okofa odisanhye ne ba se Savannah Accelerated Development Authority no. Ebeboa na etimi abonyuma na yenua na omo osirim ho no. Omo etimi atena wo ye adwuma eho hia. Animonyam omu. Adwuma ni bi ene na eye enconfirm.
Yeah.
Se ne nankokon kitinkiti. Aban eye enconfirm no a ema no a omunyini kakra na ye de omama efiefie mu. Na wa yen wo yen ne confirm ni nyini a na wa beton e de ama aban na aban akunu a package na e de abaye na e wa ase akuma senkran a ye nyen confirm ha no na ye suawe ente koba ne saa ebe ma omusika sema yeye akosro ente won ha no ho emha afensu so uko esire mu a asase ne da ho ya ntam batenua hye dani ho ente enua na enua no so eboa ama se bio climate condition on my condition fa ma no enso atimi ato na omo so no ba atimi ayeye no yakofa enua dua so bai. It took Manasa Zuri and Nodna frafrani boy and Nodna to collapse the SADA. Manasa Zuri say wono no akobokina faso say contractor mama hama car no kwa hwem say car na ede mama hama no eye bribe anase nye bribe na all ba no odu sirim no eno call baby a ye launch sa eye confirm no okọ say confirm no way okọ na confirm ni no ano be tro say okọ so okọ confirm bi en ho na osusu say confirm na tutu ekobokina faso.
I remember that.
He as a journalist who claim say we are so wise. Police ni kwa want taking time to understand. Amana nkase obeyen confirm no afa akonse poultry farm. Ye dem confirm ni ba na ebi wo mo for a week or two ni achichem na ko. Enti say after 2 weeks no ko ba bi e chan confirm on koto a confirm bia ho. Ba on tia sienti no ko ye propaganda say okoye no en confirm ni ho nti no osusu say en confirm na tukọ Burkina Faso. Owie no saka say SADA enua no kra no ko enua ni nyina wu enua no mudue enua ne pebre enti so kra nguso ama enua ni nyina wu Manasa Zuri ene MPP esomu propaganda omde ko 2016 election se Mahama confirm to Savannah yes SADA enua ni nyina wu but UDS for report on the by chesi enuano mudua no 85% survived.
Yeah.
Alpha phones see now Google UDS reporter 85% survive. Mumisa MPP. Omo ba ye omo se eye the green Ghana. Say green some say green Ghana. Ye dua nua. Mumisa se nua no mudua ye no. Emudua se na survive ye. Ye tenkra ha enua no mudua de fa akwa no nyina wu. But Manasseh didn't write anything about it. Because of that, intino, the SADA program ananka ebua ama livelihood ye nan muslim agina omo naso no ye the political propaganda egu no. Ye gu ni wie no ene ye nuanu sremfo ya sa basia ba omia so ba ya ba omia solution de ba ni say one de is ye nuanu sremfo mu nyina amomra me de maba be sika ye school ha enti mu nyina mu free sremu mra yenso si en pese wo mu nyina be free abarom ho abechi because omba mu nya ba mi po na enti so pese wo si school now tete ye nuan sremni said the be ya obetimi live dignity and the life obetimi dignify the life wa adenti na wonkosi wo srem ho no abesi asinkra ha enti omu nyina nsa free srem mran kran no mesu adwuma no owi awaka won wa adwen mienu ba omia ene mahama but ene busase say school na wahemfa wono Manasseh na oye sa no owi ye no ene odumfo bi adom no ame no Cambridge University
I see
America osua de ewo mu anu aye video na da beto ho babusanse ni nuanum siremfo dodo sen ene betime nya sa opportunity no se sada nya ene National Development Planning Committee say yensanfa sada mrabio se nenkenya ofri se nkanimdifo ebe propose na so am say se nyankopon waketua ontua Manasseh Azure kanam se Ghana ha obi a honya me na tan se Manasseh Azure ne honya me tan pa because when nimni left enimni right na adwene say was since mfimfi abo apan say ye kra no a mekoka say ya ye beka se mo this side nti ma menka say nye ba bia enye no abeka say eye na senka odwene hu yi a nkenenka sada mahama sha say 2012 and nkene 2026 ka ye tenase akye count ye blessings ye nuane mo ma benefit from sada ene afa ne ese propose say yensa mesha asie bi yankopon betu obi aka sire university na eye petrol hu nsensem you see bigrebi amekasa bato we esu hu sunsanso ene da sorry ye petrol bo foforo aba na omo munim petrol mu adwadie hu nkuntabuo de since last week ano mo sha asie yi Ghana for su trace petrol bo no ede ne ebe cost because Donald Trump tokwa no kokko fae no asent tokwa ne ya abon so Donald Trump ne no nimsa acha siro de Venezuela for ko fa mo president ne ne yire a o sesa regime no fi say Iran o de ko onye yi supreme leader ne free ho no mo a eno anu awi nti no na Donald Trump plans mu de no say just 48 hours war and na all ko but I say baby antokwa na du no Iran for catch America for say you can start the war but we Iran for any be decide when the war should end.
Very baka
yes, and indeed Donald Trump and they decided when to start the war. Now Iran so be determine when to end the war, and only God knows when. It's Iran never born empire, but no be a him say petrol baba kosro. Nano afenyo marking could na parliament say, na musi inflation aba from, na musi exchange rate. Macroeconomics in ebedi okasa se bi obi a wansi school dem da na onye na adwen kra se wode na so beto form no atieti se bi omo makọ school nim de se omo nchirechire mo omo ye fa macroeconomics no said whether say making sense and I say making sense. She spoke like excuse my language idiot. And word market price Barry is saying $104.
105. It was 105 this morning, but I'm saying
yes, starting in 104. Maybe I think I could do to them find 104 because of exchange rate. I find your mark in MPPC in MPP free so now exchange rate 17 Ghana cedis, almost 17 Ghana cedis. So offer the current price. It means in Kenenke beto a liter of petrol 19 Ghana cedis, 55 pesos,
almost 20.
So far exchange rate 17 on that far and the wet market price and beto diesel 25 Ghana cedis akotwa Kebeto akotwa no 25 Ghana cedis 2 pesos. Okay. The only difference the exchange rate. MPP the exchange rate no eko could do 17 Ghana cedis. Now we here dollar ube here 17 Ghana to get $1.
$1.
And now me know ka say we here dollar, we here 10 Ghana cedis 86 pesos to get $1. And to for the prevailing price, world market price, which is 104. We have $104 per barrel now. Now all the MPP exchange, which is 17 at 200 year one. We find a net exchange no. You better say Star Oil, 12 Ghana cedis 49 pesos. That's petrol. Diesel, 15 Ghana cedis 99 pesos. Because exchange rate near saying 10.86. But senka bibian say mpo na exchange rate ne 17 Ghana cedis per MPP. Era na ki beto the same petrol no 1 liter 19 Ghana cedis 55 pesos. Niato diesel 1 liter 25 Ghana cedis 2 pesos. What it means in say me car me use me failure 52 liters. Akoto makuma 52 na yema. Enti ne se me fele me car se na kura ya tumu no. Se me fele me car metua 649 Ghana cedis petrol for 52 liters. Say ye MPP 17 Ghana cedis to $1 no a. Enka me fele me car be metua 460. No. Metua 1016 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
The difference in say because of exchange rate no yet 10. Na enye 17 into no. And then me ko fele me car ni biya tank biya no ma service ka 367 Ghana cedis. Because exchange rate near 10. Na MPP there 17. Because of this exchange rate afenyo market see ni no. Me fele me car see am save 367 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Every week biya me fele me car baako. Enti bosu me nkwa na wi ma service ka 1468 Ghana cedis. Enye magic. Eye nimidia edibu mai. The exchange rate nkwa alone ehun fasoni. MPP time, yes, Russia Ukraine war. And a day could do some pempesu no. Russia Ukraine war nkwa to me the Ghana diesel later could do 23 Ghana cedis. And then Russia Ukraine war is ongoing. True or false?
True.
And Iran Israel and America 3 as I count still yatu petrol mukra no 12 Ghana cedis. Wo de na akum you no pe say amai maku enum na eko but petrol bo no e da so form sin wo de. What it means ni say the exchange rate and loan no it me Ghana for ehun high.
And because of the city has appreciated.
Simplicity. Simple as ABC. And it's a phenomenon say you need exchange rate. You need dollar CD a year politics. Obi a ban on can wouldn't say you
because how you been that and I can 17 now and can there you made the calculation
and a liter of a diesel 25 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
Petrol 19 Ghana cedis.
So later a gallon I think 5 liters.
Yes.
So 5 liters 25 times 5.
4.5. Okay. It's just for phone number a diesel 25 times 4. That's 100 Ghana cedis. For what side half crabs account it 100 and by now me no kasi diesel ya 2 mukrano still a new 100 Ghana cedis. That is the difference. And if no man can buy better catch say you need exchange rate, you need macroeconomics, and I say indices and I say figures in here. You know, I catch and say be onim ni awoka. Na, na me ya say o my Ghana yetimi. Ya yese bi o enkobesie. Ye kwa ni ababesi echi. Aban bi beba no de Ghana kwa nanim wa kodum pempenso. Ye ya be pie free sunu no ani asa be so no mu ni atwe no. Ye na ba be wremu. O man penikufo e baaye na to ye adwuma.
Yeah.
Economy a Rollins hand over the makufo na MPP. Eye 2000 na to ye adwuma. By the time man penikufo amamu MPP be ko na we 8 years. Ye close to. eka beda ho yese 1.5 billion cedis nyame nkwa Ghana Commercial Bank gui Professor Mills buy no introduce be friend eye toll debt recovery levy ana ogigi to ya no declare sa aka ni nyina de free ho President Mahama buy no sa revive it all before NDC be free abam 2017 na toll ye adwuma yewra Kwame Ewuada ko ono na manage toll esa manage bust ana toll esini na so ye adwuma sabre kwa etre ya sha see to oil tinkade ne si kwai MPP buy Akufo-Addo 2017 the grand toll and omode toll no tank station tank farm and omo kofa finished product no if ramano ne ba na omode akoto no makwa store omo financiers no makwa akọ store no ma sa ton de amagana afekura de ekowi ase no omo se toll no omo ton ne sen ya omo so omo ton $22 million nis na ton na de we kra ye twa no se bio konde scraps $22 million na ponsa no adwuma yes company se Torenko se den ye ton $22 million womo ne nam ho ye beton NDC fo ye mpene mo nton ene nyankopɔ ye ado na Ghana fo to abeti MPP to ba ye less than a year na to atimi ye adwuma enya mfaso 21 billion emfaso 21 million na me no kasi to ye refinery ampenyifo ese besa expanding po na yetumi apejamu senka Mahama revive it in 2015-2016 and MPP buy no mo sustaining for 8 years and cannot to and increasing the capacity because in the fan where ye use Ghana no about 60% homo bu pen dusia ye clear from an neba to etimi refine 40% and at all the capacity ni nyina ni o to our capacity e betimi refine fu e beso Ghana it is shas year 2016-17 and for the past 8 years to course why ye adwuma and ye build it to and can Iran say what to the border crank and phobia because gebetimi Nigeria koto crude oil
na very fine
yem fan konkofa can say Iran normal blockade Ghana ye ni anka se die ye tui gebetimi dia akone akwa
but na menne IS4 ekasa na menne yewra ba kon edinkomo ana o kire Matthias ye say yen kra ye fango ye that is Smith Boahin emfa Hamun Strait wonum o se emfa honum ye de no comes from Europe.
Okay.
And o se emfa honum but ebo no ekosoro ne
na se ade no Europe won mo fa free hin neba ekọ
wo
yes is sroje ta ase beji team oni Europe no ko fa free Iran ho baby a blocking no de aba no akofa de aba do free no twani ra so na ntom bi me kombe de mo ena se ko yinti Iran so mo bi amma wo beba kura no wo se wo se nya oyonko ni America de amema kwa amwako memo so oyonko ni America de ma uma ye ka se European countries no omum wan ena nya American ally all of them omina American ally enti enko besie wo ye denia be fa ho ena kan but badwin babi obi onim nyansa bia dwen konkan osaje foto da Kwame Nkrumah osi to no sabre na Ghana discover oil
okay Samia na face
but osaje fu no nim said denia one day Ghana be discover oil and osi to enti ka wo buy 8 years ya revive to na wo to aso a enkene tonke ekọ enti nkene bi anka ye betimi produce via 70% of the fuel and petrol use in Ghana but Akufo to was grounded and the Akufo-Addo to was grounded enti ene afine ese be sha ase foforo na yetumi akọ but enkrofo abeti so mbe dide kese pa ewe ho esa ye MPP for
okay
but ne krakra me kono Sami Jamfi Sami Jamfi de minim se Sami Jamfi petri se o petri mpona no koto dwesi for a ye beka so nya stroke because the MPP for sia mini Sami Jamfi no
ale om so waye den
say scandal na makra yes scandal
okay Until for 2
as
minutes.
gold board for adwuma omu dwuma de omu de contract bi omu ma license bi omu de ma omu post bi bia wo website because the penisi adansi nti na boa se bi okraman wo fa na yire wo badwam enti gold board per printing yenti no contract wo de be ma obi o license wo de be ma obi o post bi bia wo website
se emra ne
hye no na MPP ni ade a post for several months MPP ni kono ko hu ya no akwa fa de na good board na publisher a scandal sa laptop no a sa laptop no a MPP for ka say eye overpriced no won say last na me catch us printers shop bi me koto washing machine before election me ko bisa na washing machine is over 4,000 after election last year no October me coin na omate so dey about 3,100 okay sa shop no yes I sa shop no your friend get for less
okay get for less
okay honum one as a media fi gold board honum kokoje sa shop no file phone very simple nana file phone enye laptop bia ne laptop bia we brand ne to nchen ne spec machine om koto en Lenovo ne specifications ni go ne specification ne busa say say price be yama on 21,500 Ghana cedis per one.
That's all publish.
And it has been published.
Website.
Now work to take a compact laptop. 150 Ghana cedis. MPP buy almost all my teacher for laptop. Ready me. Laptop problem man a teacher for Pentium 1.
Would the teacher for laptop compare laptop?
Don't the moment America. The MPP the moment America. Pentium 1. I'm a teacher for Nankasa. Na me pesa video na ma. A teacher for Nankasa say, hey, laptop for my beji esika. Some the bill so akota Pentium 1 laptops na akota de aba. Enti we da ho no mu a esi de na scandal. One ya de ma nya scandal mpo no. Eso a scandal. Ye ma kwan na baby a gold board office or baby na Bank of Ghana da a security zone. Ye miem open tender na obi anko no nko bi mumusa adubu ahen na no moko court yesi adubu ahen na ono no timi boga na ban bosia national security na ono bo mo bosia ti mumusa adubu ahen se sabre no mpesika national security akoto mu fidie no ade no manya open tender me anko issue bond no no ko fa ni sika ba no me yes adwuma they lack capacity.
Sami oko akwa kotua adwuma so ko kan news ntima menja wo nakọ. In fact meda wasipa ebra wonyan e de ba ye ene e bedi nkomo nim se wo ko so ko kotua so
yeah tam na kanya me makojo ni Karuna
na no to e
onka onya pane
onka ho
okay
ati
Haruna
ma membo yenua honto aba
ondo meda
se otimi chirechire the then and now and nusuka niana amebeka efa the physical discipline of every economy. Ghana under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and making sure say through the finance minister equip every country every Ghanaian in this country up to date in the terms of maintaining the physical space. One of the key components of near yakaka about pricing of fuel, dollar differentials. Dollar, adia eta hard drink in every fuel transactions. Yenya hunto yen anka under NPP. Hawa yabeto 1 liter.
Yeah, sanka dollar is still 17. Yeah.
And this time, even say unim kura kwa abucho. Don't go to a Bank of Ghana, a bank. Say ope the rates are no from because abucho kura na anytime the black market for everybody to go and exchange dollar and any currencies no ohonum kura dollar is not up to 12 cities
apart from
kanino na teacher for edani black markets business because na dollar omo bank ekoto na omo api abonten eton ama abochi at a higher price so that omenya faso teacher for meaning lecturers minimum no omo ye because na ohonom no and the NPP na ye lucrative so ombetimi yes adwuma no
I see
but under John Dramani Mahama say woniti kra akohonom koka say wo per dollar to kwan ye be charge you the difference between the Odiba Pia Bontin Ekoton no the same but say wo be transfer ya na bo no eden e wo form it is there for businessmen and women to have an economy that think about the business environment so we are yakai NPP almost there to compare Ukraine and Russia war to that of Iran and Israel. Na MB say nema bay na na ye free Russia as a country. Nema bay na ye free Ukraine as a country. At the time omuwo war. Nema bay na influence that yes, wheat and that's it. But now it has nothing to do with oil. So today, as we speak, if the three most powerful countries in the world are $8 economic giants, what do you expect as a country like this? So because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama even with the prices at 104, right? Per barrel. Yeah. We still buy fuel at the cheapest rates compared to that the then NPP. Yeah. Then it means whatever they're in, the government is ready to face it head on. Now when you don't need you're free honum making comparisons with then and now because Ghana is the only country uniting. So we know we don't need anybody. Nobody should tell me can you not talk fuel? Say this time we buy it this way, and then can you not 1 barrel of oil not 80 but now a ton of say. Let's move on as a nation and prefer solutions.
Okay.
For me, that is most important.
Right.
Mrenasu. And as the government is pushing very hard and putting Nema so that we would diversify our energy sector to the area of renewable energy.
Okay.
So that near the BIF crafty and over dependence of oil. Okay. Anka ye ko even 50% renewable. Anka wenu kurano anka
green energy.
Anka green energy anka wenu nyina no dia ebebua. So the way this energy minister of bombarding in the area of establishing diversification of renewable energy no dia yamboa no Ghana bia mboa no any solution you think say you betimi free dependence on oil no that fossil fuel oils and burning fossil and any time there is external shocks no affect look for me as a country there's nothing we can do say we would not have a trading partners, and if today your major trading partner is being affected by other shocks or unforeseen occurrences, is it the fault of the president?
No.
Is it the fault of the president?
No.
Anka, if for any reason it's not about war, it's about trading and its unforeseen circumstances. Enough crude oil ekosro. And then abain we enye bibia enfa ho then we have a say. But as we speak today, under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Thor has come back to refine the crude to supplement Nyayet Kraba, so that when in the event say yentimi nkra finished product the crude can be refined at all. And we NPPC for saying almost see there be omunti say yet to fuel at this particular price.
Right.
But how much were we buying fuel at the time no more abaymo?
Yeah. We do that comparative analysis and we come to understand that because of the dollar, the cedi to the dollar ratio,
yes,
the rate,
yes,
it was higher.
It was higher. But today, young fan said the same fuel, Yakrabano was 106 or now 104. Young fan say, what is the dollar? Anka dollar no 17. How much do you think say anka better fuel 1 liter? Yes. So this government, a government that is very focused in the area of discipline, physical discipline. Emma MPP4 Omuntiasi.
Okay.
And the question is, where is our finance minister under Nana Akufo-Addo? Or no? Why is he over there seeking asylum as a former appointee of the SY administration?
Okay.
Ghanaians know say John Dramani Mahama and yet oni a friend saying Nana Akufo-Addo nipe. The Akufo-Addo government is far different from Nana John Dramani Mahama government, because if you look at the factors of the economy, nobody will tell you say today the rice bag is down, the brosika perform, tomatoes has come down, mackerel is down, and in so the economy is moving the right direction. So MPP omunjai petty comparisons and let Ghanaians enjoy good governance.
Okay. Haruna Medase, Maminko, Kojoho, Nefe, Membetis in an O2 na Yenfe. Yanko.
Medase, only baby, Asemsi, and Yansafofia, and Abusia Sabi, Omoyatu Omuya, Yana kind different, and they see Abusia said beyond any manko ya, ne kind different. Example like nipa bebranya yi okremu si atia na no na kran do film ana me boba pani yeah yame fa ne kranzi on de na yi ni hihye ko kama if you were the bona busua no fa pe busua no ontete busua no hihye pa on wa yi ko si lumba busua fie so we up to now nkwasi afo busua fie omodi nkwasi asem sa up to ne I'm a friend put the course here, the bow, and I'm paying the example. As I'm saying, as a 4 year different, the sequence of 4 years are different.
No, but you can't say that. Why saying a young Quasi?
Lumba Busia Penny if you own. I'm going to say, Dabi, Obi, Ebushi, Field to make us say, Dabi. Sabusiano, she share papa. What am I think I say, not to say? Okay, but Sabusiano was your papa. The echoes of chicken. Being young upon and she share different. We are 7 Molumba and Fanco Pierce Ebusia from same. We will state man like this. Will be on more the day will film the whole parliament. It take about 30 minutes. I can't want them. No fear, Busia Fum say.
Oh, you are still reiterating. No. To make us of you, that is not the topic on the table. Busia Fum saying no. But I mean, I wouldn't be happy say me will refer me Busia say Busia Fum. No. Busia
Kama. Against a 4 year. I don't know credit DC. Yes, Uncle for the say free said Nichols, anybody you want to change. Me, I'm going to video the better one thing. Send me chum. Me, I go to and you have a good feeling. Now, me, just a few years. I am the cano. South American case in the Indian go for funny serious. Once I cover and Yana make cana, we go video the bar one teno. Yeah, I'm trouble and pa if you want to say, see. Oh, Uncle for we. Sanya on my way say camera paya juma ye pa municipal no e dia ben hye no nkwaye ho e dia ben hye ne ye answer uno se beto see nipa o fia on dia ne dia bo fan to che ye ka environment nankasa baby a pipe that crampo pipe wono ye mfa fruits you and yare ben ne ku no se o fia one na permit
We need to ask all these questions.
I'm telling you, and you're the kid, you're Janice, our mino, and Ranga Jumantino, Sabadi, some Sapa Power, Abusia Panina, Sabis and Agri Yaguman. Can see a funny that
Judas as I'm now okay.
To park.
I'm to park.
I see security, I'm picking that. You're and what the Crofoma,
but he's been invited and
yeah, that's
it. You invited no.
Government
Chamu understand the traditional something. May come ra war mine. Can say to implement him, can say a fan nakotum. You are doing a who net type. Young fan on to channel the Emra. And this is and this one. That's a sincere. Yana Muniama is different. One with the Omogina Ghana for one to know. Petro issue, I mean, I'm okay.
Don't do 7 minutes in Kalumba.
And I think you're correct. You're going for your opportunity. Where the Busiapani did some phone, and was Akonia former MP on the Nagin. One won't reach an Ida man in the Jano, or we are on Baby will be here, will be fiasem. Qualities also man Quasan Mecano. What reach an Ida Jano?
You see such allegations? No. Not whilst I am sitting here. Okay, Marie, Obeko, Menamitio, Minister,
and the American say, what we say, and this NPP. And this is by once NPP phoning ya bibia nyina so bia o enu ntie say bibia beto phone bia say papa mo de boni mu om say ne boni mu enka de hemia me nua kuma sami jamfi issue say tayo me ampo ne maya ade na de beto website ena da ho say ade a yepese e bokro no na de BBC a ye de beto abonti ana say de besie yepese obi hu say ya de papa de ekoso nie amani nyina hu nti de beto ho musem am de mina mu de kum only Adam Gangwa, NPP Pam, maybe a Chomampanico for time. Young NPP name, Yamu Fetty say a time or no. Then I shall NPP crest any penny movie. One go find him no more can once and not to your crowd because I say, Bibi Poha margin. Meet your minia.
And let me follow I'm organizing, MB organizing.
Nana B.
Also call first vice chairman. Hey, MPP na for say. Also call for first vice. Yeah. MPP and Kwabena youth organizer Podo.
Anya de ketua.
Also call for first vice. Nana B.
But Africa, and in there, I didn't see
Sika to me.
Sika to me, pa. Sika so nyabi.
Dear Fajan Safo.
What be ago? What must say? What must say? And only and a partner on say according to na egu no. Enti some basis some ne papa say papa. And our opposition to tell how you say bibi e be babonti bia and say ya the papa and crofo be usi adwene mu do. And this opposition we and this opposition. I'm telling you so at one of my analysis utiom radio ni ade uti say nyansa kwata crofo ni team. But mo ba ban mu no omo ye the same thing. Ebi abakum ye no bi die na bi entwa ye ba dodo na ye correct and what must say. Can't be about opposition because the Kwam fast opposition and then to your money am to Kohen. Nanya papa o. A 2% you be a mamma na kwaso na ko yenu. The papa no bonabaso. E mu abi ambanya ba bi ho nya na mo dia ba. Ghana for better consider maybe in 40 years later. What must say? E bia. Na sa de nya boni kran bo sami jamfi ko gold body. At the first na nya gold body. Be say na ho dada. Now nani ho. Yeah. PM tana ho. Ghana for do simple nanim. And she papa ben na wo ho. Akola ye timi aba branche timi aba aye ntotua ma na Ghana ye economy no e ka ho bi ne kura Ghana o mani sisi ana niam e koso ye sami jamfi na wokra mpa agrada ko ma agrada sika e ko fan sempo fro by na anu anase wu ye kura na se 1 week ayeye ye se nkrofo bonso enso dodo wo mo ntiase wo bi NPP for no so mo so mo bi bae ebe bon sani bi ada mu nyina mo antrafie aso bo so mo bae I was there myself mo ba be bon sani bi kese bi bi afa brante no bi anye a brante so ye hihye papa metima ka kire on play nye play mfa NDC na wo ho no wo promo mu kra NDC na nka na sisia sami jafi be defense the empany for no the ministers na yin ati wo bi ati an bu befu wo pani po kra party ni sisia sami jafi
I see
wo jemu agu obi a wo su bia ni nisi so na so I'm telling you one no kra party for ninga asumdwemu o kasade o
every Friday
now this Friday we have grassroots for be good
I'm telling you now abtami jamfina woni dem nwa emre bi atwam grofo yes na obehini ade abrante minimum aduane kro kodi ye chesa abrante ne pani pass say ma ne bro su te chesa awsemo ade be ye onye oni nyino betie aka mi bibia down one na party ne say omo ma bi nye party for and I'm count eti dia me dey can say man people for otafija and people for make sure say na no kokko dia ba mko gina no ya de do ne be ni na omo ne side with them but na do omo ba bi omo nam no de e ho nya na no mo say Ibrahim Amakoto plane Montias, Prince Sunya Kai Tono Jorukwa, will be at Kokotobi, or down to 2024. 2024, Motan or die, and a coachia, and yeah, I ready now, but consider Nabe Shiane brother, Amamu, Muminamudicum. Motusuma Mabra, now when you papa no Casamana, at a fois, Sabrabo Bona, what he 36, I think I will worry. Abrabosebo now. The 37 work on Ibrahim Martin company no. I know 26 years. What it to $20,000 and $20,000 2 point something billion and now back has a but in the bank can never be them. About 19 years ago, no 29 years ago, and what engineers and planet. What must say? A brand my transfer Kito near Mamma bedroom there. Was your party NDC NPP was your beer. NDC Kuru Signor share omo emo bia wo parliament mi nko ababo NPP for from Akufu Addo to Samioku ebu anmabo John Boadum ho na nko fie kase moda obia so nko obia na no begin su anansa fangu fom wa boa mu nyina na ebi DMP dodo na da so ko fie ho edura na Joko Gold House akokọ nkrofo a omu di atwantwi oni otwe na onyi adoa why sa niema wo nyina ne Nyankopon da Roma na brantie ono wati akọfa machi papa idi aba sabe ya me no mie no kira bibi si a old one pe betima ayuzu mumna mu di kum enkola no mo bra no mu ni hwe no mo di na tem o wa dedicate ma yeye mi drum ntiase ono na nkrofo di na tem wo ye na nkrofo sa da be no ono no timi ono na check e bounce wo Ibrahim Mahama check bounce na wo check ni wo bi ye ka check out so check mu da ye come millions of dollars asem ye kan na no Ibrahim na ni timo mre do sam na Ibrahim en kam company organ ma close ni nyina bi mo do na abroad say labria ni ade nyina me company maximum attraction ni company nya de ketwa kama close we no Ghana ha ne wakese wo otafe je metima ka chew ye chemu 3 obi ani baako wakese nkofo obo mu efidi omo ene on tia 700 and 800 and 1000 bi o obi o ye dwuma obi anya bosime so anya bibi pa de ko and just more my word. What my name away in Ghana for bois Ghana for me because the NPP for election bekoi who was Ibrahim 91 on Basako fear as I could diska I be facing a bush for.
Okay.
That day, the party is a 50 years old. In opposition, a bad day, but 1 year, we went to another Ghanaian DC, 10 DC, yeah, be Nanya, Yanum be ever canon, because at the end of the percent DC, yes, at least, what I figure, 40 years, the Amofianco. Near the first money, when your first love young one, maybe a second round, over selection.
I know to say, second round.
Or it be a one on your first
second round.
The second round as in 2020.
Yeah.
I na metre ha me pese me bubu.
Yeah, we be wram. Yeah, we dey be wram.
Yeah, we be mu adwuma. Kojo me da se ba donim. From the presidency communication signed by Honorable Felix Kwache of Osu, President Mahama directs expansion of security services recruitment. I don't know if you've chanced on this.
No.
Okay. Yeah, President John Dramani Mahama.
No, what I know is President Mahama Samone Interior
Minister. Yeah. Anti Mamin Bonnie to find Nina and say President Mahama has held a high-level meeting with the head of security agencies, Minister for Interior and Acting Minister for Defense on the ongoing security services recruitment processes. Following a briefing on the process, the President has directed that the number of men and women to be recruited to the various security agencies should be increased from 20,000 to 40,000 over a 4-year period.
40,000. So instead of 5,000 a year, 10,000.
Yeah,
that is good.
Yeah, the president has also directed the head of security agencies to ensure transparency, fairness, and the recruitment process.
It's a good news.
John,
who apply?
John,
president new.
Increase.
At the end, no more security. And
fantastic president.
was
O se me no bia nya binye.
No bia nya binye ye fa nipa dodo na ngum.
We say ebebu na obebu ye o. Ye me abi tete ebiem keke. Mun divide into the constituencies. 276 constituencies. Mun chama constituencies no. No mun recruit nipa na no form shem. Simple. Na ma go open Ghana. Close Ghana.
Kojo me da se. Ma me kona na otu da ko nche na fa bia.
Nana Gaza.
Nana Fafa. But before I Nana onim, Mami Kaiti for say review scratch for win. Sisiano, open so nya Chicago bottom one. And ye fe na wo kone na makwa ko ye basa. And one say obefa wo phone, so phone na ye yamo, say Android do, say iPhone no, obe dial star 850 star 5 hash star 850 star 5 hash. Now why they we choose two no ye Accra FM. Or choose 2 Accra FM now. Then you just follow the prompt. Sikebi apesa odi to be starting from 5 cities up to May 2000. Masa utume eto ubenya sika bebre. Uya and wakasa betro you enter your Momo pin. Udi ya instantly was scratchy. Now we winning. That's can be good phone so. And my yen dial star 5 star 850 star 5 hash star 850 star 5 hash. Na u play na u ko and one ubenya sika bebre ego bottom. As I make code to that one, my kai was say factories. When factories rise, we protect them. When businesses grow, we guard their future. When families invest in what matters most, we secure their dreams. For over 60 years, SIC Insurance, Ayejuma Ewo Ghana ha. Now, what should you my Ghana build on integrity, reliability, and care? Mepacho, from motor, fire, accident to travel, marine, and more. Whatever you value, insure it with confidence. Insure it with care. Insure it with SIC Insurance. Because at the heart of every policy is a sacred promise to care, to deliver, to be there when it matters most. And to for SIC Insurance, I was 0800100055. For SIC here, na SIC wow. Mami kwa Santor, I want Joyce Wuto. Joyce Santor to say, I know say uti me ewe chiao. Nana?
Yes. Me das semeni no so me use no pepe. Me bram penin for no edin komo ye. Na me say by now Ghana for atiase. But ye na President Mahama say on the security matter. President actually say ade ha Ghana for no anyhow. President bia anka fuchu anka asam no kra oben ho say asawonte. But what see grassroots fusu. Yeah. Say any pardon a year from the security services. A year honorable muta ka MBM. It's a big name mabunu a name. Okay. Na ya domasi. But I only say no, me go so kai say NDC for grassroots no so ye mabunu ni bia. And say 10,000 a president say in fact 5,000 on the Magana for that. Yeah, that's it. 5,000 I can. And constituencies. Let me near grassroots for no and so now on the oil briefly. Oil no pa enko $200 per barrel. Many how? Unintia. Me president John Mahama. Nti barrel no pra kwa nko.
Citizens appreciate it.
Look, as long as there is a certain President Mahama, as long as there's a certain auto force.
You don't fear who?
I don't fear anything. Hey, but I pay $500 per barrel. I know say when yanko pon what they buy no or mono asumdwi am webu o man. What you say? You feel ready do your mind so. O man nya hoto. Awrade anu asam so de end from that. And ye ni kan. Ne to so e me ya say enkroma time. Not an oil refinery. You see, ye discover oil. But they refine oil. And yet John Dramani Mahama and his father Roma. And any time MPP baby the oil refinery in Yajuba. You see a light crude no. And this is the best in the whole world. About 25,000 barrels per day. Edmund Combat, lawyer Moshe say about $45,000. Okay. The daily consumption of Ghana, I stand for correction, but I'm told say it stands around 100,000 barrels per day. We can do it. We have the capacity.
Okay.
It's the Yemfa Yeni and Kotem oil refinery.
Okay.
I think so. Near Messia Kabim say, MP4 on this full issue, no. I almost say Nebuaye no. Current price no. Yema Ghana for any NDC for Akano and to current price no. Now yenya MP4 pumps. Now among cotton 16 cedis per liter.
Okay.
Because no the jai.
Okay.
It's almost say 12 cedis enya yate young Ghana for NDC for you better 12 cities but you be create MPP for filling station you create MPP pumps and it some will be there yeah the pumps the back will see on normal hokoton 16 cities per liter and don't see any person make now one other thing they say Ghana who say mixed energy it's you know yeah thermal
hydro thermal
but I think we must gravitate towards near Harina kind green energy is very important my fan on the oil because I'm 5 minutes I feel my use 1 minute now on the gold board issue who hear me pa na Sami Jemfini dear apetampe oya na hwa usura bobo wotrim baby team enya sa anka lawyer Sami Jemfi bra boy ko che $800 $800 so $800 to a grab baby case you see a scandal can you imagine the same lawyer Sami Jemfi MPP for ko share me for chia you see waboka over $200 million you ko here yeah you see a Bank of Ghana expenses meanwhile and Crawford market size Sami Jemfi say on Bank of Ghana boka in 2022-2023 fiscal year Ghana ka 60.8 billion they can't account for the same people transfer 52 billion from Ghana commercial bank accounts to unknown source the same people say ye kwakwa prologu down $12 million ye tua and also ye hu we the same people say the sky train ba $2 million ye tua akron for you omboda ompe say behave say ye asora bofo so me I think it's a ye enkomo keke ana omobo na ye ko enim no ye be hunu say oh man 5 minutes
now 5 minutes yeah
so man 5 minutes yeah
5
minutes
fair
to me thank you because this is very important no but this is very important because ya hwe here enkrofo beto enfrema egu nkrofo ani okay very very important I say ye kira say now 2 issues on this Sami Jemfi matter first issue MPP for reason me chekere mu ye a reason is say Sami Jemfi mu akwa contract bi a so source na contract no am de akwa Standobi company yeti ni
yeah
in the first place be any one sir and so sourcing is not even illegal if you want certain specification that a certain company can do for you you can do so sourcing Sami Jemfi mu ye no and because of how I say time like anything I'm not able to go the way I wanted to go otherwise ufolo ni omo kanu almost about 11 million office renovation be buy and said omo kwakwa esa so sourcing now on 26th May 2025 Gold Board seeking approval to select a certain contractor obetima ye sa new renovation no about that is what they are saying so sourcing 3 companies and I apply we are saying no omo tender we no Koreka Ghana Limited and nyai eti no me gbagu say omo assess Sami Jemfi mu koye sa so sourcing in the first place anya no correct the last matter na me dey say na me Haruna bam ohwe section 42(1) of Gold Board Act 2025 Act 1140 as a publisher contract through procurement no and oko as at 10th March 2026 this laptop things now omo kan wasem ni kan so sales no omo kan wasem no the corporate affairs director publisher now November 2025 Gold Board eto 15 laptops maybe from Get for Less and time when you want to committee may show pictures and I say and yema etre say they wrote and sought for restriction permission answer na yema mo atoto sa nema at the time no go according to Sami Jemfi no Get for Less pen and there was specifications I'm pen and there what the number of quantity am here and unti na mkokoto ho no oko Get for Less na page so a wo mo dia tere say open laptop bako based on that specification 21,500 Ghana cedis the same amount of so na Sami Jemfi motor 80 or the other okay into Facebook and that's no 80 and find na Sami Jemfi afọ so I think say this yes because 322,000 cedis 500 no one we abadwe say be 15 laptops who divided by 15 ba could be cost 21,500
yeah 21,000
there be o apanyo mark laptop no use no say and then maybe hon mo yenyai mo say me contest position to me kan ben cross some ya do so do and I think say the discourse of our country it will be a word tie bia osusu say and crofo ka trom say Sami Jemfi makwa koto laptop bia ne bo odin bruce bia nya no kure nyame yadom so a wotena Patriotic Journalists Against Galamsey. Ye launch a program no. Wakama Center. Special guest of honor, a Minister for Lands and Natural Resources.
Okay.
Intimate stress ubia ebe hobby. Anopa 9:30 near Shasi.
Me da say Haruna.
Me a businessman. Nti de bia no. Me a tender. The difference between restrictive tendering and sole source. It is aha ni Burkina Faso. Big difference. Now Mrano under the PPA law. How yes restrictive tendering any sole source.
Okay.
Ningina wo nimre. Ni enti na ubeye restrictive. Any ni enti na ubeye sole source. Nti etifo nim. Omwa omotie omunim echen mia meti hoyi. So I don't want to go too far in that regards. Say here nimubia a special. Very few people. Omutimi enye sa supplies no ana omutimi wo sa source of getting sa supplies no. Utimi ya sole source based on timelines. Time aka say at least no we here no be 3 days time, but unimre ubeye tendering and advertise for nimati ubetimi ay sole source ni enia because sa nipa kro no e obi a unimo no osiye sa ejuma no nti ubetimi ay sole source. Restrictive tendering no su ebe to say ufre nipa beye 5-6 based on specialty.
Okay.
And based on nema here which my restrictive tendering and then select few to come, then you pick the best
out of them.
And your prices beyond efa metima kokoti price mini ukra etimi hu say we enye quality say me di sa price no it's not based on your price and anything na be mawo ti me ye we nyina all the time nti nia omo ka no anka tsami jam fi pese o we o my Ghana anka on advertise one prices na omo ton no anka omo fantijwa nti we propaganda number 1 omo share say I tonsu nti yemfa no entwichen but the very key element ye kan ho asama affect every economy the fuel prices even in America as we speak America in the Europe so for me let's look at the way I be as Ghanaians this current government to succeed enjoy petty politics of NTP because say you can't corruption say you can't mismanagement of economy. It's not NPP kura anka say omunjai kasa for like 8 years. They enjoy this government to recover every looter omudiko one. To see near omud say na at least because won't me for 4 years and see omorot. So they should give this government the opportunity to reset this country so that at least in the next 16 years to come then they can resurface with new ideas ebia Ghanaians omunimo the Gen Zs omweba no betima mo opportunities because mimi GG pass ankanana akufado ens scam Ghanaians anka onye president da nti was scam yen Ghanaians ahu ne eko so under eko so under MPP ene ne eko so sesia nti yemfa enusu ntwinchen this government is making sure say the manufacturing and then the local production would be strengthened. And then making sure that the over dependence of import so that fuel cost and nema amononia and affected the local businesses in this country. Many of them say fuel goes up, transportation prices, and
really go up.
It goes up. And that affects every sector of the economy, including Jodifo, Omomodi, Nema, Efri, Ekrasi, Eba, Enkrani, and Ekaka Honinano. So, government of the day is making sure, say, the local production will be enhanced to
Haruna
cut all these, issues of petroleum products prices goes up in this country.
Menso meda wase ebrena so Hanam did you any nurse? Na no to that continue say obewa ha no man na o ka kire me say you Okay, next time you be hwe. Meba. I wish I from culture request here Pia Preko on behalf of the entire production team. Hana did you any nurse? Radi Christo when Pierre no nyamu a watch na e be sen hia. But the Christ has some joy and I'm a DJ mo. I wish I'm a cramo. Bye bye.